What's good, family? Welcome to aminorinhoops podcast, the show with the freshest opinions and views on the world's most beautiful game. I am your host, Greg, and I'm here with the homies, the squad, the best starting five, even though we're missing the boy Leak, Ryan, TK, the boy Dunkman, Keith. Boys, how are we feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm tired. It's been a long week, but made my touch to AAU. I'm feeling very good about my team now. Like I said, I'm excited for the summer. And basketball, NBA basketball is back, so it was good to watch some games last night. Some frustrated me more than others.
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. I know you don't want to. We got to. We got to.
Sound
like how you doing, fam?
A disappointed mother right there.
Right. Like you just got that report card?
Yeah. D.
I was about to say something that was going to get me in trouble. I need to stop.
Don't do it.
Nah, man, I'm fine. I'm glad to be back on this couch, having this podcast. It's going to be a very special podcast today, too, because we're not even talking about basketball.
Right.
Because we're talking about life.
Is that true?
Because ball is life.
That's way to come all the way around. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like what he did there. I like
Spherical.
what he did there.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That was good. That was good. Somebody get this boy an award.
I ain't mad.
We're going to win an award based off his energy right there.
At least a Nobel.
Just manifesting it.
At least a Nobel.
Yeah.
I like
We
it.
want a Nobel.
I like
Grammy.
at least. At least.
They got awards for podcasting.
What is it? A
They
pulsar? I don't know how to pronounce it.
I can't remember what they call it.
The Pulitzer.
Pulitzer? The Pulitzer Award? I thought that's for writers.
We
Pulitzer?
writing this. You know, we can write some stuff.
I've been writing stuff.
You write in and outs.
We wrote this
All
whole
right.
confusion. This is on script.
We wrote it in.
First take.
We reading it.
Teleprompter.
Killing it.
Sure.
That's his only line on the script.
Yep. Perfect timing. Perfect
Keith, how you doing,
execution.
family?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Let's get going, man.
Let's get it.
All-Star Weekend happened. All-Star Day. All-Star Day. Yeah, that's it. I got nothing else for you.
It was still a weekend if you asked the residents of Atlanta.
Oh boy.
We didn't see any information about Vucevic, so
Okay.
he stayed
Good.
safe.
Not everybody participated, though. Just pointing that out.
True fact.
The audience does not know what the Vucevic thing is about.
That's true. You didn't drop the episode.
It's gonna drop.
They're gonna
They're
know
gonna
before
They're
this
gonna
one.
drop it.
Oh, okay. I was
stagger.
disagreeing with King. Like, they don't know if you don't.
They're gonna
ever
know.
drop
I'm
it.
gonna.
Hey, everybody know we late.
Yeah, now they know we late. God dang.
My bad.
There we go.
That's cool.
Hold on. You're already late.
Who?
You missed the scheduled date, so.
Did I?
You said what? Like if you're earlier on time? If you're
You're
on time, you're late?
You're on time if you're 5 minutes early.
Yeah.
You're late if you're on time.
Yeah. If you're
But
late.
yeah, All-Star Day happened, and I stand true to everything I said about it. It was trash.
It was
The
boo-boo.
format
They
was
should've kept
The
trash.
three-point contest was actually.
You know what? Let me do this real
That was the
quick.
only
Let me
thing
do
that
this real
was
quick.
decent.
Let me say this because my dad called me and he asked. He said, "Hey, did you watch the All-Star Day?" I said, "Yeah, Dad, I watched it." He said, "How do you feel?" I said, "It was trash, just like I thought it'd be." But if there's any person we have to think about this being any type of entertaining, we need to thank Steph Curry.
Sir Steph.
Facts.
We need to thank Steph Curry. And Dame came in and added to that level of entertainment.
did.
But if Steph Curry didn't shoot the way he shot in the
If there's
in
an
the
all-star
three-point
weekend
contest,
MVP
yes,
for the
For the
whole
whole
yes,
weekend.
for the whole
day,
thing, like
whatever it is,
or day,
then
yes.
Steph gets it.
like Steph went bananas.
Most entertaining.
And it was great. It was great. I was appreciative of him doing that because LeBron didn't even play in the second half, and I knew he wasn't gonna play.
I don't blame him.
I knew he wasn't gonna play. I was like, he ain't gotta play.
I wouldn't play in the first.
So it was just.
I would have drafted and not got on a plane. This was stupid. I'm sorry.
Now go for it. Go for it.
No, it was reckless. It was money driven, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Unnecessary, greedy, and borderline narcissistic of the league to even have this, especially after all of the megastars spoke out against it.
Right. And it's one thing when you got a guy like De'Aaron Fox saying it, right? De'Aaron Fox is like, you know what? I think this is a bad idea.
Yeah, no disrespect to De'Aaron Fox. You just don't have that pull in the league yet.
Yeah, and it's on the way.
Hopefully.
In terms of your trajectory, in terms of the way I see you,
You'll be
an
a
all-star,
voice in the league. Yeah.
exactly, and you'll be something great. But
When you have
De'Aaron
Bron,
Fox said that, but then Bron come,
KDs
PG, like all these people coming out saying, I don't think we should be out here.
We don't want to be here.
It-
Essentially.
And now we out here and we gotta play.
And Atlanta.
Then you add in the fact, I told you the dunk contest was gonna suck.
Oh yeah, we all kind of.
It was so bad.
We all kind of knew that.
It was so bad, and that was a letdown because I was like, first, Kenny Smith didn't know anything about Anthony Simons, which upset me because he was like,
in his defense, Anthony Simons has been literally in relative obscurity since he's been drafted. In his defense,
we know that boy can jump.
I can say this.
Like,
we as hardcore.
That's not fair. That's not fair because we always give, like, I'm not gonna say we, but like the general public a lot of times give like analyst slides like, oh, but like it's Anthony Simons. Like, of course he's gonna live in obscurity. Do you know who Anthony Simons is?
Yeah.
Do you know about him?
Yeah.
Do you know who Anthony Simons
Yes.
is? Do you know about him?
Sure do.
I know who Anthony Simons is. I know about him. Leak, if he was here, would tell you he knows about Anthony Simons and he knows about him. I am not going to give an NBA guy a pass for not doing his homework on his job. You should know who Anthony Simons is. Like all these guys who can't pronounce people's names either. I'm like, your payroll is obscene and you can't pronounce these guys' names who are professionals. Like, yes, you had time to prep. You knew Anthony was gonna be in this joint for weeks ahead of time. It's not that hard to do your research.
Hey, but you remember when we said one day we'll go on ESPN and we'll be able to sit across.
Skip does never want to sit across the table from us.
Right, you remember
He
that
never
was I think
wants that to happen.
we was like sixth grade or whatever.
Yeah.
I was in like sixth grade. You was like a little older. We was like, we'll go on ESPN and they'll get all these notes handed to us, all that in the third. That's the holy grail of like that's the whole thing.
That's the holy grail of knowledge.
You got people handing you information. How in the world does Kenny Smith, TNT, Turner Sports, not know who Anthony Simons is?
And you know what I think it is? And it's no diss to Kenny specifically in this moment. It just so happened that he brought this conversation about.
Right.
It's a
it's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing between all of the analysts that I've observed. They kind of think it's cute to just not know about a guy because he hasn't won like a chip or hasn't have like the accolades or whatever. This is your job. Know about the people who play the sport. Learn how to pronounce their names. Learn how like what competitions they're a part of. Like it's not fun. Like it's not. That's disrespectful. Like that's ridiculous.
And this is my only point, y'all. I'm not disagreeing with what y'all are saying. I agree. Kenny should have done his homework. My point is simply, like, why do we expect more at this point? That's my point. Like, that's my point here.
I don't
We know.
why don't they give more?
Because
This is an Emmy award-winning show.
It is. You want to know why? It's not
all
for
the
but Greg,
praise.
it's not for its basketball analysis, though. That's the point, Greg. It's
Fair.
for its entertainment.
Fair.
It's not for basketball analysis.
Fair.
Draymond Green went up there for 3 weeks and
Great.
made them all look stupid.
I was like,
Candace
wow,
Parker
Draymond's
showed
gonna
up for a day and made Shaq look dumb. Because they have been playing basketball long enough in this era where they're like, oh no, this is how you should play basketball now. This is what you should do. This is how you should play pick and roll.
The game evolved.
Shaq over
Like
here
the
talking
lines
about,
evolved.
no, you should just do it the way we did it. Just do it the way we did it. Just man up and you stay there. Well, that don't work, Shaq. The dude shoots from 30. Like, it don't work, Shaq.
Yeah, you can't sink. You can't sink. You got to step up, Shaq.
Yeah.
You got to step up, Shaq.
You got to
I'm sorry.
contest.
You got to switch, Shaq.
You
I'm
got,
sorry.
yeah, you got 21-year-olds that's dropping bombs from 30.
Like, sorry, Shaq. It's a new era, bro. Deal with it.
No.
Like, and once again, I get it. Kenny should have done his homework. At this point, though, I think we all have to understand. Shaq, Kenny, Charles, a lot of those guys that are up there, especially them three in particular. I'm sticking with those three.
Big shout out Ernie.
Ernie's always on his A game. But those three in particular, they have reached a level of status where, one, they feel like they don't have to do homework. And two, let's be honest, they only show up for 1 or 2 days a week. I don't think they watch the NBA like that no more. They watch the games they're told to watch. They get handed their few pieces of paper, and they have their opinions, and it normally is, well, back in my day, we did da-da-da-da-da-da, and we figured it out. Shout out.
And this is one thing, and this is why, and this leads to a different conversation. We supposed to be talking about the All-Star game, but this leads to a different conversation.
My bad, yo.
No, you good. Because this leads to a different
right.
I can't disagree with you. I'm not going to necessarily agree fully, like to say they don't watch their games, but I cannot disagree with your analysis of how they look on TV as if they don't watch the NBA.
Like I said, I'm not saying they don't watch. Like I said, the games that they watch,
the ones
few
they're
teams,
told,
Clippers,
What's that?
Brooklyn.
I can't say they don't watch
the
more than
highlights.
that. I can't say they don't watch more than that, but I can understand why many people would think that the same way you're thinking.
They're not watching a Portland game on a Tuesday night when they're playing Memphis. So
Right.
they don't know who Anthony Simons is. Like, it's just that simple. They'll see that Dame had 35, but you didn't see Simons who came off the bench for the last 4 minutes of the second quarter and got a dunk. That's all I'm saying. They're not doing that level of research that we do when we watch games night in and night out.
And I think this leads to a conversation that, because do we care about the All-Star game?
Bro, the All-Star game was boo-boo.
We gave Steph and Dame their props. Y'all made it entertaining.
All right, cool.
Whatever.
Yeah, Anthony
Let's move
Simons,
on.
like
Let's move.
technically, this is the All-Star game. Like,
Yeah, we're still talking about All-Star Day,
Yeah, we're still
whatever.
talking about Anthony. He won the dunk contest.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
No, because I'm about to take it somewhere else because James Harden was talking about Antoine Walker and his credibility.
Yeah,
I didn't agree with that.
Yeah, I was about to
I
say.
didn't agree.
I agree with the sentiment though.
But here's the thing. I want to know, can credibility change based upon you maintaining your
Yes,
level of knowledge
yes,
of the game?
And I'm
It
gonna tell you why. Because
So for instance, like Kenny Smith not knowing, and that's just the example. That's one example. But we talk about Kendrick Perkins all the time, not understanding certain concepts, or Shaq, being outshined by Candace Parker on air, like all those things. Can your credibility change even if you've been a Hall of Famer, even if you've
What do I always say is my biggest criteria for a coach? Or the
adjustments?
If you can't adjust, yes, your credibility gets shot. That's the way it works in the world.
yeah, if
When
you're a
sci-
doctor who hasn't practiced in 25 years and you just come back trying to do the same old whatever, you're probably gonna mess somebody up.
Science changes over time.
Right.
If you're not willing to look at new data
Gotta
and say,
grow and evolve.
hey, maybe I should try this new thing because, it works. If you're not willing to do that, then yes, I'm going to look at you like, well, you used to be smart and now you're kind of,
you're outdated.
yeah. You said it better than I was going to.
And no, I mean, but I guess the hard part is with credibility is, for instance, say the BlackBerry is credible. As a phone, it was credible in terms of what it offered. Everything it's offered everything, well, not everything, but a lot of the things the iPhone offered.
Fair.
Yeah,
Just wasn't as accessible, wasn't as clean, wasn't as sleek, wasn't as nuance. Didn't have all that same whistles and bells to it.
right.
So it has its credibility,
Yes.
but we don't. The BlackBerry doesn't exist anymore.
I can say this.
So
I think
did it lose its credibility, or did it just age out?
I can say this in terms of,
And how-
of that analogy. If we're gonna go with that,
Yeah.
the BlackBerry is still credible. It just shouldn't be talking about the iPhone if it doesn't understand the updates and iOS and et cetera, et cetera.
Age.
Yeah, like if the BlackBerry didn't transition into the new times, not necessarily updating itself,
Right.
but at least peeping what was around it in the phone game, then the BlackBerry shouldn't talk about phones anymore. And I'm not saying, because I know
Even
that's what
if-
it sounds like, I'm saying Shaq, Kenny, Charles shouldn't talk about basketball. These guys are extremely credible, Hall of Famers. They know
Yes.
so much more about the game than I probably ever will know.
Facts.
But
Yes.
when it comes to talking about the game right now and the nuances of like just watching these games and treating these players with a certain amount of respect by gaining the information that is just appropriate knowledge for you to have,
Right.
I think they are doing a disservice to them, casuals, the general public, basketball fans everywhere, by keeping up this like persona of, I don't know, intelligent aloofness. Like there's no
Yeah.
reason why you should. They're not even feigning ignorance at this point. I
To
think
be
this,
to be the voices, because they are the voices. I
y'all
mean,
are TNT.
exactly. Emmy Award when we chalk it all down to it, there are maybe 5, 6, 7 voices that we all casuals and even hoop fans pay attention to, whether we want to or not, whether we agree with them or not. 5 or 6 of them. The 4 is Kenny, Shaq, Charles, Stephen A.
Yeah.
Skip Bayless, love it or hate it.
Love it or hate it, he has a voice.
Say Chris Broussard.
Chris Broussard,
There's a couple more. Jalen Rose. Like there's people
Jalen
in the
Rose,
game.
Mark Haynes, maybe.
He's kind of falling off. Yeah, I give you that.
So those Tim Legler, and but that's if you up late.
Yeah,
That's
true.
That's only you only
That's
catch
what-
Tim
that's
I
Legler.
haven't
late.
watched Legler in a minute.
So like, and he's probably one of my favorite ones.
I feel you.
Good when he's in terms of what he's talking about, in terms of like the understanding, the acumen. Like, so these are the voices you're hearing. Oh, my bad. Co-host with Stephen A. Drawing a blank.
Max
Max
Kellerman.
Max Kellerman.
I don't know if I value. Ever since he said Iguodala, I don't know if I value his basketball.
Iguodala. I was like, really?
That's
Really?
beside the point. If
That is beside
if
the
you
point.
get 2 hours on ESPN and
Your voice.
80%
Your voice.
of topics
you.
of basketball.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
So I think when you're getting all the information from them, it's imperative because they have all of the primetime games. They have all these. You need to know. Like you have to have a better understanding to elevate the game forward. And this is a part of the issue, and it goes back to, I guess, my main issue with basketball has been is that kids don't value it in terms of understanding even the little nuanced things or the nuanced players.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to pay attention to Norman Powell, but Norman Powell's eating.
Yeah, he's getting.
He's been
the last
going.
9 games, he's going crazy.
He's been going. I was like, yo, he's really averaging like 26, 27 right now.
Everybody's
like
not gonna
over the
be-
past like 10 games, been going.
Everybody's not LeBron. Everybody's not Steph. Everybody's not Dame.
Oh, it's a whole lot of quality players out there that people don't realize.
Getting
Like,
consistent checks, but you don't want to watch these guys because you think you're supposed to be the 6'4" Dame. When maybe you won't be the 6'4" Dame, you got to be Norman Powell. Or maybe you got to be...
Might have to be Danny Green.
you might be one of the young guys that become a late bloomer, like
But we don't-
Anthony Simons. But we don't want to know who that is.
We don't want to
right?
know who that is. We don't want to know who that is. And and a lot of people aren't offering that.
That's
and that's
boo-boo.
I think that's the bothering thing about it. And so in that moment, that's why it triggered me. Because it's like Anthony Simons can play. Like,
Bro, that's my guy. I don't know him, but that's my guy.
Sounds like he's gonna be a good guard in the league for a while.
Yeah.
He's gonna, like I said, he'll definitely be around for a while. Going to your point, like I think the thing that frustrates me the most about that, like I definitely agree with you. Like younger players definitely don't. Like I said, I see it every day. Younger players don't want to accept that they have to play a role. Everybody wants to be a star. Going back to your point though, it's always been like that. That has been a thing in basketball forever. I'm sorry. Old heads can sit up here and talk about, well, we just no, y'all sat and complained and talked and did. Some of y'all quit teams because y'all want to start. Like, no, that's been a thing forever.
But it wasn't blown up and hyperanalyzed like it was today because of our communication efforts. Yeah, exactly.
That's the difference now.
But that is a thing now. So it has to be taken into account part. So we could look at it like, oh, that was happening back in y'all day, but to what magnitude?
I think it was the same. I honestly think it was the same. The only difference now is, once again, media plays a factor. We're seeing
it's direct player to fans connection now. There wasn't, like, in the 90s, it wasn't like somebody could just tweet out whatever it is they wanted to tweet. It wasn't like somebody could directly talk to their fans in that way so casually every single last day.
Okay.
So now it's like every little word you say, every sentence that comes out, every time you post anything, whatever, that is going to be hyperanalyzed.
Okay.
So when it's happening nowadays, it is blown more out of proportion because the players have the ability to blow it more out of proportion. Now, I'm not going to say that the players back in the day wouldn't have done it because I think they would have. It's just the fact that
Jordan would have been ruthless on Twitter, bro.
They couldn't have done it, though, because it wasn't around. So it's a difference.
Like I said, I was more so just speaking to like mindsets. Like I said, definitely understand that like players today, like with the access to media, with the access to their fans, they definitely are able to say more of what they feel. All I'm saying is older players had the same mentality. They just didn't have the access. Like old heads can sit up here and talk about how all these young players don't respect the game, Like I can literally talk about 10 stories about old heads who gave up their basketball careers because they felt like the coach wasn't playing them, because they went to a school and somebody started over them. Like, that's been a thing forever in sports.
It's been a thing forever. It's always been a thing forever. I think it's more of a thing now than it was back then, though.
I think only reason now is because we see it and people have more options now.
I think it's because we see it more and we have more options. It's happening more frequently. That's what I'm saying. Like, the literal number of occurrences that we're talking about in terms of players who don't want to play behind anybody, players who want to be big stars instead of like work their way up. Like even if you transition into football, you're not gonna hear about a lot about like Mac Jones type QBs who sit behind two.
Yeah,
like
right.
Exactly until they get their shot. Like no, I'm gonna transfer 2, 3, 4 times. I'm gonna reclass. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I'm gonna go overseas and come back. I'm going to exhaust all options before I actually just outwork the person who's starting in front of me. I can say because there were less options back in the day, they did eventually, it was like, bro, You just gonna have to work harder. Nowadays, it's just gonna always seem like there's always in a school that you can transfer to.
Yep.
There's always another program that'll take you. There's always gonna be another team that'll sign you and give you a chance. So a lot of people are just like, nah, I just need to find the right fit. But a lot of times it's like, no, you just need to play better. That's why I'm always mad about the trade scenarios in the NBA. Like, oh, we got to move this guy. Oh, we got to move that guy. Like, me and Lee had conversations about it. And I was like, no, PG doesn't have to go anywhere. He has to play better. Like, that's simply it.
Right.
Simply put. And a lot of guys don't want to take that accountability to play better because all their life it was, I can just go somewhere else and it benefits me more immediately. So there is a disparity. Like, not to just talk down on the old heads. It happened back then.
I got you.
But it is extremely blown out of proportion now.
That's fair.
James Harden was wrong, correct?
Facts. Yeah. Antoine Walker is extremely credible.
Absolutely.
Bucket.
He was a bucket.
Antoine's a really good NBA player. Like,
I don't know what else to say. Bucket.
Antoine's a really good NBA player.
Yeah, I saw what he said, and it seemed like the conversation, at least reading the quote and then hearing what James Harden said, it seemed like it became a semantics issue.
Pretty much.
And it's hard to be like, okay, whatever. Once you start playing the semantics game, everything's gray at that point.
Yeah.
In terms of
everybody's right, everybody's wrong.
Right. So it was like, all right, cool. But I didn't like, the only thing that you can't say, wasn't, definitive with the fact that he said he wasn't credible. And I was like, which made me think about the entire look at NBA players who go in the media or media in general. Who do we classify as credible now? And how do we go about, how does the league players go about accepting who's credible and who's not?
I think it should be a balance because I think NBA players in today's game need to understand that if somebody didn't play in the league, if somebody didn't play in college, like whatever, they still know enough about the game to be credible in their opinions.
Like, half of y'all get coached by guys who didn't even play in the league.
Facts.
Right?
So when you hear something negative, it's not like, oh, dismiss it. He never won a ring or he didn't average 30 like I did. Like, no. People can evaluate your game fairly. Mm-hmm. And that's even regardless of credibility. Like, if they have nothing on their resume that has to do with basketball, that doesn't mean they don't necessarily know about basketball. So it's borderline. But for those people in the media, they do have to realize how far you can take some statements because some things can only be said by a certain amount of people because it wasn't like Antoine Walker had said something that hasn't been said before. Like, even Bean has criticized Harden and the Rockets.
Ain't say nothing like that back.
Because there is no questioning Kobe Bryant's credibility. And in my mind, we shouldn't be questioning Antoine Walker's credibility. Mm-hmm. But I think the difference was, I think in James Harden's mind, and I know it sounds like I'm speaking for James Harden. I don't know, bro. But it could have been like, when it's all said and done, I'm going to be more credible than you are in this subject. So, like, what are we talking about? Like, James probably looked at him like, I'm definitively, hands down, 2 feet down, like,
right,
on all fours,
Yeah,
a better player
than
player. You.
right.
And that's, that's the give and take where it's, like, tricky. It's like, yeah, James, you are better than Antoine Walker, hands down. I get it. Like, you're amazing, phenomenal, one of the best talents to ever touch the basketball. But that doesn't mean that Antoine Walker can't criticize you. And that doesn't mean what he said was blasphemous of any kind.
Invalid.
Exactly. So it's a lot of times when it comes to, we talked about players going into media. A lot of times when it comes to the players who went into media and then the players who are still playing today, the advantage that the players who are still playing today have over the players in the media is the fact that they could look at their careers and compare it immediately to their careers and their trajectory. Right. So that's why the guys like Charles Barkley and Shaq and Kenny get to act a fool at times because they're certified.
Let's not put Kenny in that category.
Got 2 of them things. I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Antoine got 1. Like,
and he does. But we all sit here and say Antoine's credible. But that's what I mean. It's a lot of guys who are going to look at it and look at numbers, look at stats, or look at, like, just comparative play and be like, I think I'm already higher than you on the all-time basketball leaderboard. So
right.
they dismiss it, which is not fair. Like, James Harden should not have called Antoine Walker, like, he shouldn't have said he wasn't credible.
Yeah. B, anything else to it?
No, I mean, that's exactly right. Like, and it's always going to be weird. And I think we all have to kind of acknowledge, like, James Harden is somebody who he's very particular about how he's viewed because he's been viewed as like this ISO scorer, this flopper, choke art. Like, he's been called every name in the book, essentially. And a lot of his criticisms have been fair.
Like, really fair.
They've been pretty much
a lot of them have come on this pod.
Like, let's not forget, he literally had a minute-long video where he didn't play defense. Like, that was a thing. But James Harden, like I said, he has the right to feel any way he wants to feel. But you can't tell somebody else who was an all-star in the league that they aren't credible. Like, and especially, it'd be one thing if Antoine had said something like super reckless. Like, if he had said something like, well, he would only average 15 points in the 90s. Yeah. Like, that would have been like, okay, yeah, dude, you're not credible. Like, don't talk to me.
James will put up 30 back then, too.
Like, come on, bro. Like, you're just wild. Or you're wild. But, like, no, Antoine said something, whether you agree with it or not, could have some legitimate arguments. Say you probably won't win playing this particular style of basketball. Whether you agree with that is up to you. But that doesn't mean he's not credible in his opinion. Mm-hmm. You want to prove him not credible, James? Win the title.
Win.
Like, that's how you prove he's not credible. You win the title now. So, I don't...
And to be honest, like, that doesn't invalidate his credibility. That just makes his statement wrong.
Exactly.
Because we have to realize, like, credibility is your ability to actually speak on a subject with a certain kind of validation. Like, your words carry weight. Antoine Walker, if he's talking about basketball, his words are carrying weight.
Mm-hmm. It has to have some nuance to it.
Exactly.
Like I said, going back to what we said about Shaq and Charles and Kenny, like, once again, I would love to sit down and talk to Shaq about the 2000s and the 90s. I would love to. I would love to talk to Charles about playing with Dr. J. I would love to. I honestly, at this point in time, I don't want to hear their opinions on this game of basketball because they aren't adapting to it. They're refusing to. And it's like, and once again, I get it your way. You did it your way. Okay, cool, Shaq. You were the most dominant physical force of nature we've ever seen. I get it. Not everybody. Huh?
To this day.
To this day. I never saw Wilt Chamberlain, so I got to go with Shaq.
Right.
Like, so I get it, Shaq. Charles, I get it. You were the round mound of rebound. I get it. You were a force of nature. You were Zion before Zion. I get it. Mm-hmm. It's a new age, bruh. You have to adapt. And once again, I just want to go back to that. Like, I wasn't trying to bash them in any way. Because if I was honest, if I was Shaq and had 20 different businesses and running 20 different companies and doing all this stuff, I'm probably not sitting down watching an NBA game on Tuesday night either. I got other stuff to do. Charles, same thing. Kenny, same thing.
Fair.
Like, y'all have achieved the level of success that allows y'all to feign ignorance. But don't then turn around when we criticize you for doing it. That's all we're saying. Mm-hmm. Like, we have all rights to criticize you when you didn't do that. You didn't have the right to turn around and say, I'm worth millions. You right.
And then we can say, at that point, if you want to bring up dollars and cents, you got it.
You win. Like,
it's no back and forth. I just think the one statement that I can say that can't be refuted in any way by them is the fact that you're feigning ignorance. You're disrespecting a lot of those people that are playing in the NBA.
That's real.
Like, a lot of them. This is your job. If I walked into work every day and I act like I didn't know my kids' names, that's an issue, right?
That's a big issue.
If every day
you should definitely do that one day, though. I would definitely do that with my kids.
Come here, kid.
Yeah,
like
I may or may not have done that.
But did you do it on national TV in front of millions?
I did not.
And then if anybody questioned you, did you go, so? Like, that's the thing. Like, that's the disrespect level where it's like,
I got you.
They can't just be combative. Like, no, that's disrespectful. Learn how to pronounce these people's names. Learn what teams they're on. Learn what they've done in their past. Like, the colleges they went to. I get it. Like, there's a lot of work that goes into being an analyst.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm asking for that much for you to prep a little better. Or at least take prep more seriously. Because the sicker part is, I think it's all right there on the notes. And they just pulled the Jimmy Butler and just...
like, I mean, we're honest. That's why they won an Emmy. Like, they don't stay on script.
No, they don't stay on script.
And it's really... You're fair.
Emmy.
It's really entertaining, but it's infuriating if you're somebody like Donovan Mitchell or Anthony Simons or anything like that. So, like, when KD comes out and has a comment like, these kids got coaches, they got teammates, and et cetera, they don't need your opinion. I respect that a lot because that's arguably, I'm going to say, like, top 2 player in the league right now in Kevin Durant when he's healthy. Mm-hmm. he's validating the young guys by saying you don't have to listen to these Hall of Famers. Like that's who he's combating. Yeah. So when he gets on those media calls after games and he's having those interviews and he keeps it short with Chuck or whatever, or like when he's on Instagram and he calls him an idiot and he's combating it like that, love to see that, because there has to be eventually there's going to be a certain level of disrespect that comes back at them, and KD's already on his way there.
So you saying they got to be checks and balances?
There's checks and balances, bro. There's checks and balances.
Hey, I rock with it. I got nothing against
I ain't
it.
mad at that.
Let's get to Bronze Warriors, man.
Do we? I don't want to talk about that.
Let's get to it, man.
We have to talk about that.
They lost to the Clippers,
Sounds
130 to
sounds
1.
like,
Loss is calling
sounds
it
like we're
nice.
talking about it.
Yeah, we get into it.
That loss is saying it nicely though.
Yeah, that's
Lost saying it nicely.
Yeah. Like they got smacked,
They got beat.
walloped, dragged across the floor by the weave.
It's
Mollywop.
pitiful.
Yeah, I like Mollywop. That's
Absolutely pitiful.
And this is one of the first times where I've seen Steph be
fired up like that.
animated on the sidelines. This isn't after him knocking down a three or, making a big play.
It's called pride.
Sick of this. He's sick of it.
That's
He
pride.
was tight on the sidelines during the timeout. We're gonna write to you, B. What did you see out of this game? What did you see?
Steve Kerr threw that game away. That's all I got. Steve Kerr threw the game away. He threw the game away. It was a 2-point game at the end of the first quarter.
Okay.
Let him know.
2 points.
Two of them.
This is
Solid. That was with Kawhi going off. Kawhi was going to work in the first quarter.
only one
Yeah, he
bucket.
was.
Listen to this analysis.
Only one bucket.
Steph wasn't even hot yet, and it was 2-point game. I was like,
points.
I watched that first quarter. I was like, okay,
Deuce.
solid. This is gonna be a good game.
All right.
And then he threw out a lineup.
What's the lineup, B?
Who was in it?
It was Nico Mannion,
One.
who just got called up from the G
Just got
League.
called up.
Jordan Poole just got called back as well.
Both had good stretches in the G League, mind you.
Oh, both of them were excellent. Nico Mannion's not ready to be an NBA point guard yet, but we don't get to that later.
Different
Understandable,
leagues. Different leagues.
Absolutely. Nico Mannion, Joey Poole, Juan Toscano Anderson,
Oh man.
Kelly Oubre,
Okay.
and Eric Paschall.
What?
That was his lineup to open the second quarter.
Open
The,
it.
the second?
Wait.
Down 2.
Wait.
The second.
Who was supposed to get buckets?
The second?
You tell me.
The second?
You tell me.
Kelly. I don't. And you know what's weird? It sounded like he threw out a lineup of like, when somebody asks you for like some chips or something like that. Like you've been in class, right? Mm-hmm. And somebody got a bag of chips.
Like,
Like,
break
"Yo, can I
bread.
get some chips?"
Break
And
bread.
they're like, yeah. And they're like, man, here. That's what that lineup sound like. Because everybody's like, yo, why isn't Jordan Poole getting more here? Like, I'm going to throw him in where he can't really affect the game as well.
And the
Exactly. That's what it felt like. It felt like Steve was just so fed up with hearing your second unit sucks, which it does. You don't know how to do your rotations. I know. So guess what? I'm gonna throw out the worst lineup I possibly can to show maybe I was kind of smart in playing Brad Wanamaker. Like you set your own team up for failure. And that to me is like mind blowing as a coach who you literally have all the cachet in the world. We get it. Like Steve right now is so inundated in that organization because of the titles, because of the records. Like he can't be touched in that organization, and he's earned that. But on the flip side of that, I really feel like all that Steph Curry anger was directed at Steve. He just couldn't say it. Like he's yelling at the guys.
You know what's weird? Before you said that, at the beginning of this, I was like, man, when we started talking about Steph Curry being animated, I was like, I feel like he's yelling at Steve, but he can't say he's yelling at Steve.
He
And I was like, I
can't.
ain't gonna say it.
Like, because once Steph's not that kind of guy.
He's not.
I kind of
He's
wish
not.
he was right now.
He's not.
But he's not that kind of guy. So he's got to yell at the guy. Come on, guys, let's get it. Let's do it, guys. Come on. I'm not going out like this. And in the back of his mind, he's going, Steve, I swear to God, if you don't fix this, if you don't start running 20 high pick and rolls with me and James Wiseman, like, yo, I've done everything you've asked me to do. I played backseat to KD when I could have been the man.
No,
I run all your off-ball movement when I could be playing like Dame averaging 35.
this is the reason why we call Steph the most unselfish superstar ever.
Like, I've done everything you've asked of me, Steve, and you can't figure out that maybe we should not be running the most complicated offense with, like, one of the lowest IQ teams in the league.
Speak on it.
And
Really nice way of saying it.
Yes.
and then the thing that made it bad was how stubborn he was with it.
What'd he do?
Like the clip, he came out with that lineup. Shut up. He came out with that lineup in the second quarter. It was obvious within 3 minutes they were about to get blown off the floor.
Yes.
It was obvious. They had no flow, no rhythm. Defense was horrible. They were fouling all over the court. They were in the bonus.
What else?
9 minutes left in the quarter.
Oh,
What else?
sweet baby.
It was horrible. And Steve literally just,
This is what y'all wanted. Y'all wanted them to play.
See, this is what we run our offense.
See? I told you.
Here.
like,
Here.
I'm going to call timeout now, finally. I'm not going to put Steph back in the game or Draymond or, come on, somebody, any veteran that could stabilize this. They're running a 2-3 zone, so I'm not going to put another shooter on the floor. I'm going to stick with this horrible lineup with no spacing.
Why would you put another shooter on?
Like, yeah, this is just what we're going to do. We're going to fail at this, and then I'm going to go to the media afterwards and talk about, well, we just didn't have it. We were sloppy. We didn't get a good practice. Shut up, Steve. This is on you.
On you.
And and people wanted to blame Steph for that game. Steph walked off the court at the end of the first. It was a 2-point game.
2 of them.
He walked back in with 5 minutes left in the second, and it was 17.
What else do you want him to do?
It's a whole different game.
At that point, and you could see like the whole Golden State team was just deflated at that point. It was no energy left. They were like, we're playing the Clippers. They're blowing us out. Whatever.
We ain't gonna get back into
it's
this.
over.
Yeah.
Like, all they had to do was keep that within 8-10 points, and that was going to be a great game. And they couldn't do that. That loss is on you, Steve. And for the love of God, you don't bench a rookie for missing a COVID test. Yes, big deal. Big deal.
Big deal.
I'll agree with you.
Huge deal.
Okay.
Big deal.
Huge deal.
You're a professional now. You handle yourself accordingly.
For sure.
Correct.
You do not bench him when he's already has low confidence. He has low confidence. Y'all been talking about this whole year. We're going to build him up. We're going to build him up. He's the future. He's the future. Okay, you want to set a precedent that he had to handle himself like a professional? You fine him like you do with everything else. Especially if he didn't break protocol. If he had broke protocol, yeah, I'm with you. Sit him. He went out somewhere he wasn't supposed to. Cool. Like, if he just missed the test for whatever reason, he overslept, got caught in traffic, whatever. Come on, he's 19.
I'm not mad at the benching. We talked about this beforehand.
Yeah.
I'm mad at the benching and then playing him in the fourth. If you're going to bench him, bench him.
Go all the way.
Yeah, like 100%. Yeah. And then it's just more hilarious because James Wiseman had an incredible fourth quarter. So it's just like
Steve, the team you have, I get it, is not great by any stretch of the imagination. Y'all should at least be the 7 seed.
Yeah.
I said 6 at the beginning of the season. After watching it, I can understand why y'all won't be the 6. Y'all could be, though. But 7 seed, is the minimum y'all should be. Y'all should not be the 10. Y'all should not be 9. Y'all should not be fighting for a playoff spot right now. This is ridiculous. And management need to make some trades. Some people need to go. I don't care who at this point, really. I really don't.
It sounds like it should
he
be
said,
Steve.
put names in a hat.
I really don't.
Shake him up.
The only 2 names
It's
that
like
ain't
Steph,
in that
Draymond.
hat. The only 2 names that ain't in that hat is Steph and Draymond.
Go.
That's the only 2 names that's not in the hat. Anybody else that we can get out of here for a good player?
It's hilarious because every time the Warriors lose, Leak texts me. He's like, see, Brad Bill. And I'm like, okay, Leak. And then this one, I'm like, Leak, you got it.
Look.
Because I understand now. You got it.
Real quick. Management-wise, looking at the success, the very great early success of LaMelo Ball and James and then looking at James Wiseman, did Golden State miss in a way?
No, because they would have just made LaMelo Ball suffer. This isn't about James Wiseman playing bad. He's not a bust or anything like that. Steve Kerr is not doing what he should be doing and handling this rookie. So, to me, it's like, you show me what you're going to do with a stud.
Yeah.
If y'all would have drafted LaMelo Ball, I'm just going to assume you would have made him suffer in the same way.
LaMelo would have been better with Golden State than Wiseman is right now.
Would he have let him? That's the question.
I think LaMelo would have figured out Golden State because he just has a better basketball sense than Wiseman.
Fair.
Right? I think he would have figured out the system a little bit better. Say he's a ball handler, which they need desperately. He would have been better. I don't think he would be what he is in Charlotte, no. But he would be better than Wiseman is right now. The problem is, I was all for the Wiseman pick. I was all for it. I still am. But
I think we should be.
As we should be. Absolutely.
This is not a diss towards James Wiseman at all.
It was more rhetorical because I'm still on the James Wiseman and Golden State train.
But to your point, if I'm Bob Myers or anybody in that front office, I'm going to Steve and I'm literally looking him in the face and I'm saying, dude.
I'm forcing him to play him.
I'm asking a real question. I'm like, dude, are you going to change? Because if you're not going to change, we need to get him out of here. There's no point.
Exactly.
Fair.
Like, if you're not willing to change and adapt your system, for whatever reason, you think it's the best way to use
that,
blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool, fair. You have earned that right. 3 championships, you've earned that. 5 finals appearances.
We got to let this kid go before we kill a stop.
We need to get him out of here. We need to get something else for him. We need to get some people in who fit your system.
Right.
And, like, that's what we're doing then. But don't sit here and, like, Steve, don't sit here and tell us, well, I'm going to use Wiseman. We're going to like, no, Steve, he's not Andrew Bogut.
No.
He's not. He's not David West. He's not them guys.
I don't know. Steve Kerr is still coaching as if Clay's on the floor, and that's what kills me.
But even the system itself isn't bad. But once again, you have to adapt something.
And he's not. That's the whole point.
That's like even just using Wiseman. Like Wiseman is not a back to the basket big. He's a face up.
Yeah,
big.
face up.
Why do we keep putting him on the low block and watch him do that same split action that we watch Bogut and David West do?
Because that's what Bogut and David West did.
Okay, cool. You know who you run that for? Kevon Looney, because that's what he does.
Fair.
When Wiseman's in the game, high pick and roll, face up game. Let him work. Get him some touches.
That's called an adjustment, and he ain't been making them.
And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying scrap your whole playbook, Steve.
Fair.
Like, it clearly still gets Steph buckets. He's averaging 30. Mm-hmm. Like, it works for Draymond. It works for Steph. We get that. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to have these young guys, Jordan Poole, who looks good every time you actually put the ball in his hands instead of making him a spot-up shooter, James Wiseman, who, once again, not great by any stretch of the imagination. He's a rookie with a lot of issues. We get it. Mm-hmm. But you can't sit here and tell me he does not have flashes where you're like, yo.
Great.
Like, he just went coast to coast, like, Euro step dunk. Like, you can't teach that.
Yeah. Right.
Like, if you can't figure that out, Steve, if you can't get in your mind to the point like, okay, we have to change some things, not everything, but some things. Mm-hmm. Get Wiseman out of it. Trade him for Zach LaVine, Brad Beal. I don't care. Get another shooter scoring there. Get a big man who can run your system. And like I said, it's okay. And granted, Steve, I'll at least look at you and be like, okay, at least you were able to accept that. You know what type of coach you are. Because once again, not every coach can adapt. That's fair. But don't lie to my face and tell me you're going to do it and don't.
So I'm looking at this report right now from NBCSports.com, and it says, and they were alluding to the very same thing, the second unit backcourt, and just that second unit in that second quarter. And he said, and I quote, "Sure, this isn't something I'm going to do for one game," Kerr said. "I'm going to play those guys together. I like the potential. We got a couple of guys who can run pick and roll and are really good passers, and we've got James diving to the rim. There's a lot of potential there. You just don't put a group like that out for one game and lose faith. You've got to give it a chance. We spent the first half of the season playing a second unit that really never got any traction," to what Brian was saying. "So it just feels like a good time to try a different track."
And that's the track he chose.
We ain't got to talk about this no more. We can move on.
The only thing that's defensible there is the fact that James Wiseman didn't play last night, which would have affected that group dramatically, no doubt. What is not defensible
is Nico Mannion and Joe.
Why is Nico Mannion the point guard? I think Nico's going to be a fine NBA ball player. Same. I do. He is not ready to be an NBA guard. Give the ball to Jordan Poole. Play Damian Lee. He's a shooter. He's one of the few guys that understands what the heck they're doing in your offense. So why ain't you playing him? Like, Steve, I vouch for you. Oh, man, this hurt.
That was pain. That was pain.
You saw it? You saw it, kid?
That was pain, bro. I've never been. Watching this is like, yo, Steve, you are literally proving everything everybody said about you. Like, Steph has proved, granted, he proved it already, but Steph proved this year, okay, I don't need Clay, I don't need KD. I just need a competent team, and I'm going to go out here and get 25 plus.
Right.
Ain't no questions about Steph Curry. There's a lot of questions about you right now, Steve. It ain't looking good. So fix it. I don't know what you need to do. Well, I know what you need to do, but you're not going to do it. You should do it. Fix it.
Well, we shall see. Warriors.
Oh, they getting smacked the next 2 games too. That's what's sad.
Warriors are sitting at the 10th spot, 19-19. They lost the last 4, but like you said, they got 2 games versus they got Lakers,
the Jazz and the Lakers.
Yeah, Jazz and Lakers. So we shall see about those 2 games. And like I said, sitting at 10th. So
Pitiful.
Right there in the play-in. Which I want to talk about.
Wasted a year of Steph Curry's prime.
Oh man, wasted.
It's starting to feel like it.
Wasted.
It's starting to feel like
Woo.
it.
GTA.
They're about 5 games away from wasting another year of Steph Curry's prime.
Man,
Another one.
They didn't waste a year already. This would be the first year they wasted.
I guess.
He broke his hand.
Yeah.
I can't blame that on Steve Kerr.
I'll be honest. After watching this team this year, last year would have been the same thing.
Yeah, but he broke his hand. So you can use that as a scapegoat.
That's it.
And then COVID. Like, yeah.
COVID.
Sheesh.
all right. What we want to talk about next? You want to talk about Kyrie?
We can talk about Kyrie.
You talk about Kyrie?
We can talk about Kyrie.
What's that talking about? What's
He's
that
getting
talking about?
MVP chance in Barclays, man.
It's the Barclays. He's supposed to. It's their home arena.
He dropping 40.
I mean, it was a great game. He played a great game. It was amazing.
Kyrie doesn't look like one of the top 5 players in the league right now.
I mean, sure.
At
but he
any
should be
given
in the
moment,
MVP.
yeah. At any
When
given
Kyrie-
I mean,
moment, Kyrie
consistent.
looks
When
like
When
that.
Kyrie's hot, like he definitely looks like a top 5 player. I just like MVP. Like, come on, we really saying he's in the MVP conversation?
No, I don't think anybody
No.
from the Brooklyn Nets should be anymore because KD missed so many games.
Like, nah, he's not an MVP candidate. He can play like an MVP at times, and he has been a lot this season. He's
He's been phenomenal this season. He's almost
Amazing.
averaging 50, 40, 90. I think
Amazing.
it's the free throws. I think he's shooting like 88, 89%. That's the only thing to keep him.
Like, he's been amazing.
So
Phenomenal.
You're just gonna say, oh, he's just being a show. Let's just leave it there.
You say
He's just a just a great show, and we're just gonna leave it there.
It's not a great show. I wouldn't call him a great show. Like there's great shows, and then they're not impacting the game or winning as much as Kyrie has been. Kyrie this season has been. I want to knock on wood because I might be saying it a little bit too early.
I was trying to like inch y'all into it. Does Kyrie look different to y'all? And I think that's what
He's
I wanted
looking
to
like
say.
everything that I wanted him to be.
Kyrie doesn't look any different.
He
to
looks
y'all.
like the best version of himself. That's the best way I can put it.
He's looking like the Kyrie that I was like, yo, if this Kyrie shows up, everybody needs to shut up. That's what I love about this Kyrie. Whether it's on the court, off the court, locker room, whatever it is, the way he's just carrying basketball, period, and the way he's maneuvering. Specifically, even after his brief hiatus, getting his mental health right, it's been on the P's and Q's. Like, there hasn't been a miss. Breakland has been on a tear, even without KD.
Facts.
I don't. If anybody has anything negative to say about Kyrie at this point, it's just like why?
You a hater,
Yeah,
right?
like you're
You're a
nah,
hater.
like no, because he's tearing down all the negative stigmas that were associated with his name in terms of like being a bad locker room presence for the Celtics team. I love the comment he made. Loved it when he was just like, when they asked about his interaction, he was like, "You're crazy, right? Crazy." And he has some words I can't say, but he was just like, "Yo, like, it's crazy how much we dislike each other, but show each other this much love in a sense." And I don't think that's faked. I don't think that's feigned. I think a lot of those guys in that Celtics locker room did appreciate and love Kyrie and learned a lot from Kyrie in their time there. I think it's kind of been. I think he was on a mission this year to already prove the media to be idiots. And not all media, but that's how strongly it felt for. At least I'm putting the feelings into him. He made it seem
His sentiments towards the media.
exactly, but now they're being validated over and over again by his play, by the way he's engaging with everybody else, and the way he's engaging with his social issues. It's like, what negatively can you say about Kyrie? There's been nothing. And that's why all these publications have come out and said nothing but praise for Kyrie.
Yeah.
Stephen A. couple months ago, you told him to retire.
I mean, it's amazing when Kyrie doesn't say stupid things. We all kind of just let him live.
But then the issue is like how many now that's the thing. It's gonna be like how many of the things he was saying was actually stupid now.
That's fair.
Because do you feel Kyrie has changed a lot? Now the way you carry yourself is one thing.
Yeah.
But in terms of the way you're dealing with,
So what you're saying is he's hooping well, so everybody's quiet. But if he won't hooping well,
the team's just winning. Because even when he was hooping well, they were just losing games. Like it's different.
right.
Because people hoop well, and you're still gonna find something to say about them.
Right. So the
Like
team
Steph
success.
Curry is still being said that he needs to prove something, and he's hooping phenomenally this year.
Okay, so it's him hooping well and the winning.
And the winning.
that has allowed.
Winning quiets everything. Did Kyrie
Always.
change? No. They're just winning games, so people have to shut up. That's all that has happened.
So Kyrie doesn't look any different.
No, I think he's grown, of course. Like
He's like I said, he's definitely hit like the peak of his career. He's 28. This is like the dead prime of his career, and I think that's showing this year. I think this year, maybe next year, might be the peak of his career. Like this is the best version of Kyrie we ever see, which is perfectly fine. It's a great version of Kyrie. Like I said, I think this is the best we've ever seen him look. I don't think he's doing anything different necessarily, but he's doing it the best way he knows how. He's in the perfect situation for him. He has James Harden who will handle the point guard responsibilities. When they get KD back, he's going to be able to play even more like without the defense king on him because you got to direct your attention between James Harden, KD, and Kyrie. They're playing a system that is very loose, very fluid, allowing him to ISO as much as he wants to essentially. Like, he's in the perfect situation for him. And he's showing himself that he's handling it. I will say, not a negative thing. I'm just saying, I think it will be interesting to see what this Nets teams look like when they really hit adversity. Because that's when you find out what type of team you are. And I'm just leaving it there.
Well, that's up in the air about any adversity because they just signed Blake Griffin after his buyout from the Detroit Pistons. And it looks to be that what are you doing? It looks to be.
This boy been locked out of the Coca-Cola. He's been locked out of it.
It looks to be that Andre Drummond, once he is bought out from Cleveland, that he will also be a part of the Brooklyn Nets as well.
leaning towards it.
Leaning.
That's what the rumors are.
Leaning. And rumors can be fickle because we did report that it probably was true that Kristaps was being looked to be traded, or he was being shopped in a sense.
Yeah.
Mark Cuban has quieted those.
Because he dropped like 28 and 14 last game or something like that.
Because that's Mark Cuban's job to not put his players on the market on national TV.
So he kind of quieted those rumors. But like I said, leaning. So adversity, they may not see.
I mean, if they get Andre Drummond, like I said, I'll pick them to win the title.
Well,
because that's just like at that point, it's just like, okay, y'all got it, y'all.
We're talking about on-court adversity.
Yeah,
right?
on-court
Because going
adversity,
into the season, even last season, it wasn't like Kyrie's a stranger to adversity.
Yeah.
Or even every single last player on the Nets. Like we had talked about whether there was a team as this that came together as these three individual players. Like you heard KD get called Cupcake and Snake, and he ruined the league for years. Heard James Harden, you can't win with him. He's a choke. He can't play in the playoffs, not clutch. Then you're Kyrie, he's a whiner, bad teammate, et cetera, et cetera. They come together, they click, everything's a little quieter. Do you know what's happening is everybody just keeping their tweets in the drafts. That's all that is. Everybody has it in the tuck. If they go on like a 3-4 game losing slide, people gonna come back out and say they can't win. If they do win a chip, then they're gonna call it fluke and say it's cheating. So all the people who do flip flop like that, I don't care about your opinion. You can shut up.
They're not credible.
They're not credible. They're not credible. I think they're gonna be fine regardless. I think they're in a groove where, like I had said, maybe a year ago around this time when I was like, Kyrie and KD both chose to come to the Nets. This is Kyrie's first situation when he's like, I want to be here.
Right.
And ever since then, every step of the way, he's gotten better and better and better at being a Brooklyn Net, which is supposed to happen. Whether it's leadership on the floor, off the court, whether it's just the way you carry yourself as a person, which I don't think he was doing a bad job beforehand, but that's just my personal opinion. But I can say he is doing a better job now in terms of the way the general public will view him. Man, barring injuries, like y'all know how I felt before James Harden got there, before Blake Griffin signed, like all of that. It's getting real scary out here for the league if, barring injuries.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I said adversity. And when Brian meant adversity on the court.
On the court.
Yeah, of course, on the court.
In terms of off the court, as long as they win games on the court, it kind of quiets things off the court. So it kind of.
If they face adversity on the court, that's when I think you'll start to see issues crop up in the locker room or whatever case may be. Because that's how it always goes. Like when you're winning, nobody says anything in the locker room. We all just
even if you don't like
bit-
the
even if you
environment,
don't like-
Shaq and Kobe. Even if you don't like them,
If you're
we're gonna
winning,
put our clothes
yeah.
on, we're gonna walk out the door.
Business as usual.
Exactly.
As soon as on-court things start happening, now you get to see, okay, how do I really trust you to take that shot?
Exactly.
Should I really run that play? No, I'm going to keep it and all that in the third. And that's where it becomes a little more murky. My whole thought process is, and I guess in some part playing into what Brian was saying about overstacking the team, quote unquote, overstacking the team. If you put so many super talented guys on one mob, you leave no room for doubt.
Yeah.
Then it's like, yeah, you might not get met with adversity. This might just be
Clean
a real
sweep.
clean sweep. It might just be like that.
Fair.
And it doesn't invalidate the ring, but it definitely says it definitely still has the questions of we don't know what y'all look like
When your back's against the wall.
exactly.
I mean,
I
don't think anybody needs, preferably, like, if we were just talking about me as a competitor, I don't want anybody to see me with my back against the wall. I want to be that dominant.
But isn't that when legends are made, though?
Fair, but like if I don't know, like if I was going into a situation and I could either just dominate the league or struggle and lose some, or it'd be I want to be hands down,
we've had this
undisputed. Like I want to be like Amanda Nunes. I want to be Serena Williams. Like that's the kind of domination that I want in my like competition and my field. And I think that's perfectly okay. Nobody's gonna sit here and say, "Oh, like Amanda done swept her whole division nearly twice or whatever, so we gotta invalidate it because she can't fight anybody that can actually give." I saw that last fight. It was like 27. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous, and I was like, "Wow, nobody's ever gonna beat her until she decides to retire." When it's like that, a lot of people are just like, "Oh, you didn't get the entertainment of thinking that they might lose." That's all that I hear from that. But if we can all choose, if you could choose winning in game 7 or just going out there and smacking them each and every last time, if every game you were like, "I'm going to go out there and I'm trying to beat the mess out this team," you're going to choose that, Greg. You're not going to choose to lose game 2 and 3. You're going to say, "I want to go out there. I want to win game 1 by 50. I want to win game 2, 60. Game 3 was close. I only got him by 35. And then game 4, we swept him by like 70. Like, that's what you're going to want. Like, nobody's ever going to say, "I want to give a game." Nobody's ever going to say, "I want to lose." Nobody ever going to say, "I want them to come close to sniffing competition." You want to dominate. So when you have a team and you build a team, you're going to want to build a team that dominates. So, like, I was never mad at the super team era. I was never mad at the Heat, the Celtics, the Warriors. Like, it just made sense in terms of winning to me. And it's not unfair. It's not cheating. Like, it's all in the rule books. Now, when you're comparing rings, which one are we going to look at with more glossy eyes? Of course, they're Dirk ring. You know what I mean? The 09 Kobe chip. Like, those are the rings where we're going to feel like, wow, like they had to overcome so much. You know, Bron's 3-1 comeback had to overcome so much. But in that moment, if you had asked Bron in 2016, right before then, like, "Hey, like, would you rather come back from 3-1 and just get it this over with in 4? He's like, "I'm not trying to lose a game."
So, like I said, I definitely agree with you. Like I said, nobody ever wants to go in and be like, "Oh yeah, I want to go 7." Like you want to go in with the intention of sweeping everybody. Like I said, Shaq and Kobe Lakers 15.
And if you can prepare yourself to sweep everybody, you're going to.
And that's fair. Like I said, I've never complained about LeBron going to Miami, KD going to Golden State. I'm not complaining. Like I said, I'm not going to complain now about if Andre Drummond goes to the Nets. I'm simply going to. I'll say the same thing I said when KD went to Golden State.
You just better win.
You better win.
You just better win.
Like there's no more.
That is fair. You better win.
Like you have to win.
Facts. There's nothing.
Barring injury, you have
injury and
to
COVID
win.
We got a lot of things going on.
And like I said, and once again, I'm somebody that would simply say as well, like I value Steph's 2015 ring more than I value the 17-18 ring. Like you were supposed to win those.
I said rings are weighted,
like,
but a ring is a ring.
But going to your point, this idea of like I think everybody's a competitor. you want to know what you are when you actually face off against the best. Yeah. Like
I could lose, but I didn't because I
was better. Not because like I said, I see it every year in AAU. I see it in high school. When you have 9 D1 guys on your team and you're playing a team of D3s, it's like, yeah, this is what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to win. So I get it. You wanted to be on the stack mob. You wanted to have the deck stacked your way. You wanted it to be a little bit easier for you. That's fair.
You just better win.
You better win. And then, like I said, I'm somebody that I honestly believe, like, there has to be some part of you that's kind of like, but how would this have turned out if the roles were even? Or if there were 3 D1 guys on that team, there were 4 on this team. Like, it's just a question you have to ask yourself. Like, KD has to ask himself sometimes, like, what if me, Westbrook, and Harden could have got back against Miami?
I feel like you may ask yourself that question. I have no idea what goes on through Kevin Durant's head. All I can say is, like, throughout my years of sports, throughout my years of competing, blowouts and blowout losses, I've never asked myself that. Like, I've been on mobs where, like, we'll just go onto the field and we're just, like, thrash teams. And I never thought, man, if there was only somebody as good as me on another team, or if we just even this out, it's not pickup. I'm trying to win. Like, pickup, I'm trying to be entertained some too. Like, I don't want to just walk into any of these gyms and we just have, like, just a pickup game and we just wash through everybody to 11-2. Like, that's just not fun. But if I have a jersey and a team name on the front and my name on the back, I am trying to wash through everybody because I value domination more than entertainment.
Like that, like I said, I went through that period my senior year of high school. Like I said, we were the number 1 team in the state. Where it's like we had a couple tough games outside our conference, but once we got to our conference schedule, we knew there was only one team that was going to give us a challenge. We blew everybody else in the conference out by 30. And we had like a long 3-4 week stretch where we literally won every game by like 20, 30 points. And I remember that was the part of the season where I was the most bored. Like, I wasn't having fun. It was just a drag because, like, what am I trying to pump myself up for? I know we're going to win. There's no chance of us losing. We're going to walk out here. I'm going to get 15. He's going to get 16. He's going to get 13. And we're going to walk out here with a 30-point dub because we know we're that much better. That, to me, wasn't fun. It was like, give me a real opponent.
No,
give me somebody who can challenge
But did
me.
you stop winning?
Huh? No, you're never going to stop winning. That's my point. You're going to try to win. You're always going to walk on the court trying to win.
You would have never said, like, hey, coach, like, can we trade half this team to, like, can we scrimmage half, like, give them 4 or 5 of our boys so we can just make this interesting.
But I definitely was like, I don't want this. Like, I did not want that to be.
You
want to
be challenged.
I want to challenge. Exactly.
Challenged.
That's all I'm saying. Like, as a competitor, I want a challenge. Like, I want somebody who's going to stand across from me who might be a little bit better than me.
You
like,
want it.
Honestly,
because you want to validate yourself.
He knows. I love playing against people who are better than me. Because I'm going to go at your neck and I'm going to try to do the impossible.
As competitors, we generally do. But if I'm gearing up to win something, I'm going to try to prepare to win as handsomely as possible.
Not handsomely.
Handsomely.
Yes. Smile on my face.
Get this work.
Like, that's at the end of the day, like, I get it. We were all in the driveways. We all counted down the seconds before we shot that last shot. We missed it. We got the rebound. Act like it was some more time on the clock. Yeah. But
y'all had driveways?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
I had a little patio.
That little.
I ain't even had that. We was in the street with it. We was in. Shout out Jonas
All
Court.
that was a free throw line to elbow. And we only had one elbow. That was the left hand elbow.
No wonder we got so good at elbows.
Yeah, bro. Couldn't shoot from anywhere else.
But granted, like, we lived off that last second game-winning shot. You don't have game-winning shots unless the score is close.
Right.
But granted, while you're playing the game and before the game is played, you don't want the score to be close. If I can get up 20 in the first quarter, I don't care who I was playing against. I don't care how talented they were in comparison to me. If we can get up and just get up big and keep the lead, that's what I want. Because I want to win at the end of the day. And I don't want to be any doubt in anybody's mind. Like, I'm the kind of guy who...
You want the surest win.
I want to win in a way that's so definitive, you can't tell me what if, Greg.
Right.
Like, if we play ones, I don't want to beat you 11-10. I want to beat you 11-2, so you can't say, like, man, like, that one time you traveled, or, like, I didn't call that carry, or I got tired. I want to, like, whoop you. I wanted it to be like, man, you should have quit when it was 5-0, but you kept playing out of pride. Like, that's how I want to win, where it's just unquestioned. So I can understand why, like, this happens the way it happens, especially when we cherish championships as much as we do. We're going to get this. So, long story short, I'm fine with the man Andre Drummond. It doesn't invalidate the ring. They just better win. They just better win. Because you don't, if you lose when you stack, oh my God. That's a whole different conversation. Well, hypothetically, we'll have that conversation. Like, we'll get to that bridge.
Bad day for you. That's going to be about as bad as leak.
No, we talked about, I mean, the Nets have pretty much put the Clippers off the hook.
No, I didn't even see the Nets doing all of this. I thought it was just gonna be KD, Kyrie, and we're gonna rock out.
Soon as
Harden got there,
I said the Clippers are off the hook now.
Facts.
Like they don't have any terms of the pressure from last season or losing. After being up 3-1, like all that is pretty much eradicated.
Yeah,
because we have completely
soon
shifted.
As Harden came,
we shifted to a whole different mob,
Facts.
and so. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. The Clips are playing well. I wish Leak was here to give us his 2 cents on the Clips.
Fair is relative.
So one of the things that I did want to ask him, and I guess I'll ask you guys, there's reports are saying that the team is looking to stay intact. The Clippers stay intact, even though a lot of people and Leak for sure.
Oh man, 101 trade scenarios from League
has been vying for a trade to get Lou Will out. Possibly get in another ball handler because they're not so certain on Pat Bev being, a point guard in playoff moments. But it's looking like the team will stay intact. Is that a mistake?
I think it's because they couldn't find anybody to trade with. I'll be honest.
I was telling League that too. I was like, I don't think anybody wants to deal with the Clippers.
They couldn't find anything that was worth their while, so they were like, guess we're staying put.
About force, not about choice.
Yeah, League
Exactly.
is sick because League always brings me like, y'all stole Schroeder, and I'm like, well, people want to deal with the Lakers. I don't know what to tell you.
I said, I'll be like, I'm the same way. Like, I just don't know. I get they couldn't. Honestly, they just couldn't find the move they wanted. So they were just like, I think they're gonna wait for the buyout market, see how that goes. They might try to add somebody there, but other than that, like, I think they're gonna try to stay put. Once again, trade deadline still 2 weeks away.
Right.
Like, you never know what can come across the table in 2 weeks.
Right.
Like, somebody might get desperate. In the span of 2 weeks, like, we might see some teams go from being like, oh, we're in the playoff race to no, we're out of it. Let's change up our whole game plan.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's still time. Like I said, I think they're still like gonna try to get Kyle Lowry in there some way, somehow. Kyle Lowry is like the name I'm really interested to see where he goes.
Yeah, League was preaching that since
like
all season.
I do think he's a name that shifts the
Contenders.
Yeah.
contenders. Like, if he goes to the Clips, like, I move the Clips up like a higher level. I do the same thing if he goes to Philly. Like, if he goes to Philly, like, I'm putting them up on that Brooklyn level. Like, they'll be able to contend with Brooklyn and so on and so forth. Like, Kyle Lowry is a name that can really shift that dynamic. So, but yeah, other than like Kyle Lowry, like, who else are they gonna get? Like, for Lou Will.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Exactly.
I mean,
like,
I was reading the reports and I said, I mean, okay. And I didn't think, my initial thought wasn't, oh, they couldn't find anybody. My initial thought was, oh, I guess they feel comfortable with the pieces they have. They are playing pretty well.
they lost 4 in a row going into the All-Star break.
They did lose 4 in a row, but they were
They
playing.
did rip off a tear, and then PG missed a lot of games.
I mean, that's fair. Like, they're the 4 seed though. Like, it's not like they're.
No, PG missed a lot of
No,
games.
but they were, in terms of and they were playing well before that.
They were playing extremely well. PG
Yeah,
missed a lot
like-
of games. I'm telling y'all.
Like, so
I'm
it
with
was-
you. PG missed.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, cool. Maybe they're all right with this situation. Maybe they're all right with what's going
They are.
on.
They're
and,
good.
They're content with the pieces.
If
in
you were
front
the
of them.
Clippers GM looking around the conference, looking around the landscape of the NBA, do you feel comfortable?
Do I feel comfortable? Like, no, because I want to make a move, but I'm not.
Do you think you can win a title with the team that's constructed is my question. When I say comfortable.
I have no choice but to believe that. We all in on this.
I can't tell.
Like, we got
Ballmer
Kawhi
that.
and PG. Yeah,
I mean,
like.
I might lose my job. I can't say I don't know.
Like, no, do I think the
I'm
the Clippers
saying
are
yeah.
gonna-
I might be lying,
We
but
just
I'm
had
saying
we had
yeah.
a whole section talking about, hey, you gotta adjust, you gotta adapt. Sometimes you look around and you go, hey guys, we started off as a contender, and the rest of the league is showing us that we're not.
I think the Clippers are still a contender.
I think they're like right on the border.
Bro, to keep it a band, I think they're number 2 contender in the West. To keep it a real band. It's
So you got
Lakers and Clips.
Lakers Clips. So
I feel you.
Like any other team. Utah, I think
and you've been holding Utah to high standards. So do you think Utah?
I think right now Utah and Clippers will be a 50-50 series. It's 50-50.
Okay.
Like I think Utah has the pieces. They have the game plan. They could go right at the Clippers' neck. And the Clippers, like I said, they have the star power. You have Kawhi and PG. You have to hope PG doesn't turn into
playoff P.
Way off P. Took the day off P.
And he gonna see his boy Joe Ingles again.
Stay off P.
He gonna see his boy Joe Ingles. I'm just saying, like, I think that's a 50-50 series. Phoenix, I'm not betting against Chris Paul. That's all I know. Like,
I am in that Clippers series. No disrespect to Chris Paul. It's just I'm taking the Clippers over that.
I mean, once again, I probably would pick the Clippers, but Phoenix is in such a weird spot because they're now the 2 seed, which is crazy.
I think I saw like this chart. I think their net rating
is ridiculous.
It's like they're like number 2 because they're like number 7 defense and number like 3 offense. I think number 1 offense.
Yeah, they have number 5 defense, number 7 offense right now. Their net rating is 3rd in the league though.
Oh yeah.
So, but like I said, Phoenix is in such a weird situation because I don't even think they thought they would be this good.
Yeah,
but Chris Paul still's playing like Chris Paul. You have Devin Booker ascending. DeAndre Ayton is kind of figuring it out. They have a bunch of really young players. Like, they have the perfect leader for a team that's so young. And I always say one of the good things about being so young is sometimes you're so naive you don't realize you're supposed to lose. Like, if they matched up with the Clippers, it would be this thing of like, yeah, y'all are supposed to lose to the Clippers, but is Devin Booker going to care? Like, he's so young. It's his first time in the playoffs. He's like, love it. I'm just going to go for it.
right.
It would be very similar to like what Luka Doncic did with the Clippers last year, where it's like, I don't care you're supposed to beat me. Like, I'm just going to go out here and put up 35, 10, and 10. Lump it.
How D-Mitch did the Thunder.
Just
Pretty
another
much.
game.
Like, I don't care you're Kawhi Leonard. Like, I'm Devin Booker.
Granted, D-Book is the type of... And D-Book is young in age, but not in the league anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's a
Like,
vet.
he's been ready.
He's a vet.
And he's a vet now. Like, he's a certified star. Like, D-Book shouldn't be missing any more All-Star games. He shouldn't be subbing in any more All-Star games or anything like that.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know, man. I really, like, I had this conversation.
Steph and Lillard always got to
Always going to have those 2 guard spots. You're going to have Luka up there, too. But, like, Devin Booker is just so... He's so cold.
That boy
man.
cold.
He's
That boy cold.
He cold. But there's this guy named Steph, and there's this guy named Dame, there's a guy named Luka. Is he better than them 3?
I'm
That boy cold, though. That boy cold.
I'm just want them. Chris Paul is going to be there, I guess, for the remainder of his contract. At least that's my assumption. I'd
say, yeah.
But I need them to find Phoenix. I need them to find their guard,
his predecessor, or his
running mate, his backcourt mate.
His successor.
Yeah. They need to find it because when they do, it's proven they got something. Yeah, like between Ayton and Book and Cam Johnson, who.
Hey, look, quiet as kept. Like, I get it. We're all.
I didn't see it coming.
He's good. We're all fans. Yeah,
I didn't see it coming.
I didn't think Cam was gonna be this good in the league. I didn't.
We saw when he got drafted. We were like, wait a minute, why?
Even
we was all like Kobe.
Even Kobe said, Kobe
wow.
was like, whoa,
wow.
wow.
Cam? Which Cam? Which Cam you talking about?
I was at his pre-draft workout.
He's like, wow, Cam went lotto. That's all. Wow.
So I mean,
Mikal Bridges, like they got a solid team over there.
So
I mean, that's how Phoenix operates. They're a good organization. I'm gonna give them that. Phoenix has, in our lifetime, has generally showed me that they're a good organization.
All right,
winning organization, no. Good organization, yeah.
Y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand by that.
With the headphones on, I can just hear the dead air of the.
They're not a horrible
When Tamon
organization.
said that, all you hear was like ambiance. Like it was just like.
In our lifetime, you're gonna call them a bad organization? That's disrespectful, honestly, if you ask me.
The best I could give him is average.
Average?
They've had some very low valleys.
Man, Lakers have had some very low valleys.
And I was ready to desert.
Like
that's OD.
That stretch where the brother was running the franchise, I was ready.
That was like a year and a half.
I was ready to. No, that was like 3-4 years. I was ready to hand in my Laker card.
That was a while, bro. That was a while.
It was like 3-4 years because it was the end of Kobe.
It was it.
And then it was also like the D-Lo. It was Lonzo.
Bro, that was like 2 years, and then
that's like a 4-year span.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Kobe gets injured in 13.
I'm gonna have to phone the friend.
Kobe don't retire until 17.
I'm gonna have to phone
Or
the
what was it, 16?
He's retired in 16.
So that's 3 years off rip. That's the end of Kobe. And then you had that next year with D-Lo in them.
And that's when Jeannie took
That's
over.
4.
She took over. I think she
said
took
3,
over in
4
the
years.
middle of a season though.
I said 3-4 years.
3-4 years. I'll give him 3 for the sake of
I
argument.
was ready to
For
hand
the sake
it.
of argument.
For the sake of
Look,
argument. In my head, Kobe Bryant, like literally, it was like from 2013 to 2016, like Kobe ran that franchise.
Phoenix Suns history. If we look at before they got
Nash.
Steve, not before Steve Nash. We ain't gonna do that.
Okay.
I said in our lifetime. That's all I said.
Steve Nash is our lifetime,
Yeah.
but okay, those were some good years. But they got Steve Nash. That was a trade. We blame that on Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban should have never traded Steve Nash. That's what we've always said. But that's a whole
I thought
nother
he was
thing.
a free agent when he went to Phoenix.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure he was.
Fact check me. I could be
I
wrong.
got you. I'll look it up.
I got no problems being wrong. See
No,
that, guys?
I don't think he traded him. I think he let him walk.
Yeah, he let him walk, but he didn't let him. I don't think he traded him.
You might be right. I think you're right now. Fact check me. It doesn't matter.
I got you.
We
I don't
didn't
mind being
expect to be on the Steve Nash conversation, you guys. We
At
were
all.
prepared better.
This was not.
This was way off topic. But
Yep, free agent.
so when they drafted Devin Booker, we were like, oh wow, because he's good. This boy can play.
Really good.
Before they signed President, what's my dude's name?
Who's there now?
Yeah, President GM
James Jones.
James Jones. Before they got James Jones, they didn't. I can't remember who was in charge at that point. But a lot of the conversation was owner Sarver and all of that. And the third didn't have a direction. Didn't know what they wanted to do.
Remember when they had like 7 point guards on that team?
Exactly.
Does that make them a terrible organization for having bad years?
It's not just having bad years. It's not having a direction. We've always
not
talked
having
about
direction
that.
for a couple years.
What's Brian's whole
But
thing
I
about
didn't say
Minnesota?
I didn't say there were.
What was the whole situation?
I gave
We're
you- I
really
gave
gonna
you
compare
average.
about the
Phoenix to
Lakers.
Minnesota?
I gave you average. I just said.
I think they were
average.
good.
I think they're an average.
What's another average NBA organization then? I just
say-
need comparisons. 'Cause I thought
Average,
Phoenix. I think in our lifetime, Phoenix
Like
has
I would
been
say,
good.
Atlanta is an average organization. Like they put together solid teams consistently. They normally stay fringe playoffs. Like I said, they drafted a star.
average.
Memphis is. I would actually give Memphis above average.
Really?
I would.
So Memphis is a better organization than Phoenix.
Because I think honestly, just if we're just talking our lifetime, like they literally stay very
Yeah.
competitive.
Okay,
in
fair.
a very low.
I would not give Atlanta. I definitely wouldn't give Atlanta a better organization than Phoenix, or
I said
even
average.
as much of an organization as Phoenix. I don't know.
Like
I
Atlanta-
feel like Phoenix gets like a C plus B minus, which makes them good to me.
That's average.
That's average. C
That's
plus.
not
A
average.
C is average to me. C literally means
Like on a
average.
scale of
I
1
got
to
out of school
10.
and didn't
What's
go
They're
your
a
six?
six.
I said a C plus. They're
give 'em a
6,
six.
but 5 would be average.
So very slightly above average. Like,
It depends.
Very
I
I
slightly.
don't know. I'll
It's
give them
one of
6.5.
This
7.
we're playing semantics. I don't
We
like
are
it.
now. We are.
And
now.
I was trying to figure it out, but like I don't think Phoenix definitely didn't deserve that silence that we got.
It was
They
pretty
definitely
silent.
didn't.
It's pretty quiet.
Nah.
Because it wasn't like I said they
You
were
said
phenomenal.
good, very
I said
comfortable.
good.
You said
That's
good, very.
very good.
In our lifetime,
And
they
I was
have been
like-
good.
I was like, wait a minute. I don't know about that.
They
I
produced
just wasn't
watchable
comfortable.
basketball. They've competed. They've rebuilt.
hilarious.
They're not.
They finally got the rebuild right this year.
But how good? How long were they good
And-
for
and
though?
the question is,
like when they were good.
And the question is,
That
how
was
good?
really just the Steve Nash era. That's it. Like
it was a long era for me, and it was good.
and they were really only great in that Nash era for like 3 years. And they just had like a bunch of okay years.
And this is why I said that they need to find a successor, because the rebuild isn't really a rebuild. It's Chris Paul really just
That's
taking
fair.
this situation.
That's fair.
And
Monty
moving it
Williams, I
over
give credit to
there.
Monty Williams too, because Monty Williams is a great coach. Taking this situation and saying, all right, I can cultivate this into something great. I can cultivate this into something.
So you think the rebuild would be stamped after they get a successor for Chris Paul?
You got Chris Paul's
No,
not,
I'm not
No.
debating against that.
I know.
I'm trying to
And my
confirm
point
it.
is, you need to have a future, and you need to have
somebody who's
something
gonna
you can-
run with Devin Booker.
Exactly.
And Chris Paul,
Chris
love
Paul-
you. You don't have 20. You don't have 10.
You don't have 5.
Hey man,
I
I was
don't
about to
think you
say.
have 5 left.
Hey, look, man, we looking at you like
if you
after
in the
this
league in 5
contract.
years, Chris, like you are amazing.
I think
Chris could be in the league.
Chris could
in
be.
5
I think
years.
Chris.
Not at this level.
I think Chris is
Not
going
at
to get
this
one.
level. He could be in the league.
I
though.
think, and I don't know if I said it on the air, but maybe I did. Chris Paul is going to get a Jason Kidd type of ring. He's going to be on a team.
You said it. I don't know if it was on air.
I can't remember if it was on air or not. If it was, my bad, y'all. I'm just repeating things over now. But Chris Paul is going to get a Jason Kidd kind of ring. He's going to be on a team. He's going to be that guy. He's going to be that point guard mentality guy, coach on the floor. He's still going to be able to knock down shots because the jump shot's not going to go anywhere. But the speed and the elusivity and all that in the third, all that,
He ain't going to be snaking, picking
Yeah.
roll.
It ain't going to be the same no more. But he's still going to be able to make every pass on the floor, and he's still going to be able to knock down the open jump shot.
I feel you.
And I think that's what Jason Kidd is going to do. But it ain't going to be in Phoenix.
I think it's going to be interesting. The difference between Chris Paul and Jason Kidd is Jason Kidd was 6'4". Chris Paul's 5'11". It's a big difference. I want that to happen. I
We'll see.
really like that. I think it's hard to stick around the league if you can't beat your man off the dribble at 5'11".
We'll see.
Phoenix has been a good basketball organization.
You just said that so comfortably. I wasn't prepared to just jump off
I had
that.
to think about it.
I wasn't
really had
prepared to
think
jump off that.
And I was
with
like,
you.
okay, I'll give
I
him-
thought
I
about
can
you
give him
said
average.
the way you said it was. I think was the
It's
issue.
like good. Like
yeah, I was like,
I hear you.
wait a
no, it was
minute, like
no, they've been good. Like
they
they've
got-
been.
they
I'm
got 50
confident
they
in
got
giving.
we were
52.
just complaining about we need to get D Book out of here not too long ago. Like
for sure.
Like they have a 52% win percentage as a franchise. That's
they
the
average.
definition of average.
I said in my lifetime.
Like I said, they had some very low peaks in our lifetime.
24-58, 23-59, 21-61, 19-63. Like,
Hey, look, man. Maybe I just like their highs,
I
but
feel you.
I don't think they've been
they've
like
had some
horrible.
very entertaining teams.
Yeah,
no doubt.
for sure.
doubt.
Steve Nash, Amari,
Sean Marion.
with
Joe
that crazy.
Johnson was on the team.
Raja Bell, like they had a nice little. Leandro Barbosa, they're cool.
Me. At this point, they gotta give me a jersey. I'm the only one thinking y'all are a decent organization.
All right, what did I miss, man? Did I miss anything?
We don't know. It wasn't no docket.
No, ain't no dog. I'm just kind of running through things. Brian got his computer open. I know he see all the news on his.
He was gonna stats.
Nah, it's been a slow week because of All-Star.
Yeah, like they literally
They
started
just started
playing like
playing,
2 days
what, 2
ago.
days ago?
Yeah.
And, like,
And we ran over All-Star because we all admit that it was stupid.
I mean, it wasn't serious. So
It was like,
I ain't really care.
Steph. Everything else is stupid.
Why Quavo do that to them boys?
Hey, we ain't talking about that 2v2.
Why Quavo do that?
Oh
Hey, y'all
my
saw my
God,
man, Lil
bruh.
Baby.
Why
Hey, yo,
Quavo
Lil
do
Baby,
that?
you can rap. You can rap. You can rap. But
Hey, I felt
That free
so
throw?
Why did-
bad for 2 Chainz.
So bad for 2
For
Chainz.
Chainz?
Nothing.
2
Man,
Chainz
look.
can hoop.
He
Like,
can
did
hoop.
he pick his partner? Or was that-
No, he
there's
didn't
no way
pick his
picked
partner. But I
There's
think
no way.
Quavo and Jack Harlow picked each other. It definitely felt like they picked each
Jack
other.
Harlow can't hoop.
It don't matter.
But he
It
can
felt
play
like they knew what
defense.
was
He
up.
at least knew to give Quavo
play
the ball.
defense.
Bro, look.
He was like, hey, I'm going to go set a pick for him real quick. Here you go.
2 Chainz like 40, right? He ain't doing it by himself. Quavo is still young enough where it's like, all right, I could win this 2v2. We all played 2-on-2, where you're the hands down best player out of the 4 people on that court, and you can single handedly win that 2-on-2. As long as you have a partner small enough to pass you the ball.
Do you think Lil Baby was a better partner than Jack Harlow was?
No.
That's
I
it.
think Lil
That's
Baby
it.
had not a lick of
That's it.
athletic basketball bone in his
That's
body.
it. We needed
He's
someone
not
better
running
than
the court.
2
He's
Chainz.
running the trap.
2 Chainz deserved better.
2 Chainz
deserved
deserved
better.
better.
Definitely.
Where
No,
where
he
were
did.
all these?
Definitely did.
It's plenty of
Shout
rappers
out
that hoop.
Chainz.
Plenty of rappers
Why
that
ain't nobody
hoop.
hit up Cole?
Ain't nobody hit up Dirk.
That's the first name I said. Bro, I was at Jonah's. I was watching this with AJ,
Dirk.
Jonah.
Oh,
We went
somebody.
over the highlights, and I was like, "Why ain't nobody hit up Lil Dirk? Because Dirk would have gave Quavo
Buckets.
some work.
Work.
Right.
He would have gave Quavo some work. I ain't
Work.
even gonna front.
They were talking about who's next. If they're gonna make this a thing, I think they should make it a thing. I think it's kind of fun to watch.
Oh yeah, for sure. Why
Because
celebrities hoop?
rappers always making
Always
basketball
talking
and,
about it.
and
Come get this work.
analogies. They always talking hoops, making hoops
It's
references.
It's
We talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
What's the Drake quote?
He was like
Only
rapping.
love my
He was like
mama,
sports
I'm
and music
sorry.
is so synonymous.
Because they want to
be them and we want to be us.
And
Yeah.
so I think that's what we seeing them both kind of switch roles. Because we see Dame rapping, we see guys like Bags rap, Marvin
Lonzo-
Bagley rap,
Lonzo
Lonzo
Ball.
rapping, and so like you
Even
can
back
see,
in the day, Kobe, Shaq, they
Yeah,
all went
yeah.
into
Let's
their.
not speak on Kobe. Sorry.
They all went into their rap
That's one thing
bag.
I don't
They
want
tried.
to remember
Well,
about
I'm
him.
sorry that he raps like Lil Baby Hoops, but it happened. It happened. R.I.P. Bing, love you to death, bro.
Oh boy.
But
Nah, for real.
I call a spade a spade.
But I do want to see more duos kind of link up to do these 2v2s.
You know who I would have liked?
Who would you like?
I would have been cool with Lil Dicky.
For sure.
He would have been cool with Lil Dicky.
He would have been better.
I would have been cool with Lil Dicky.
He would have been better.
You know what? I would have been like, yo, Quavo, like, you grab your white boy. Like, I can change you grab your white boy.
Yes.
We can't have interracial hoops.
Yes.
We trying to bring the world together. Call him Lil Dicky.
So many rappers that would have been better than Lil Baby.
Every rapper would have been better than...
Man.
I rap better than Lil Baby hoops.
I don't know if it was I can't remember if it was like a warm-up shot. He shot that free throw line shot.
It was no warm-up.
No, that was an
actual free throw.
There was no
Yeah.
warm-up.
When it hit just the glass, it came
That
back.
was an actual free throw.
I was like, wow.
I was like, he practicing a self alley oop. I didn't know Baby had
I
bounce.
was like, wow.
That was crazy.
I knew it was bad when before the game they were trying to stretch and Baby didn't know how to stretch.
Jack Harlow had
Jack
to do
Harlow
it like
had
this.
He was like, now you gotta land.
Do it
Baby
like this.
You know, and it's cool. Like
gonna be bad.
it's cool. It's cool. You do what you do really, really well.
Really
it was just
well.
hilarious to watch Baby out of his element.
Baby can rap though.
Especially because he was going bananas on the rap game for so long. I was just like, what can't he do? He can't hoop. He can't hoop.
Can
I
confirm.
found it. I found it. He can't
Confirm.
hoop.
I'm weak.
You gave us a great verse on Wants and Needs.
Oh, you smoked Drake on that.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
2 Chainz is still hot.
Nah, I could tell.
He is still
I could
heated.
sense it. I
They
could
played
sense
for
it.
like 500 racks. Like Quavo at one
Yes.
point, he was like, "I'll put my Bentley or Lambo on it or something like
Yeah.
that." And I was like, "Of course you would, Quavo.
Yeah.
2 Chainz 40 and Baby can't hoop." Like,
You think he knew
Easy
he
money.
couldn't hoop?
Easy money.
bro, me and
He
AJ,
figured it out very quickly.
I think he knew.
Yes,
He's
I think he
like
knew.
warm ups, like go at him.
Yes. He
Me
knew.
and AJ sat there and we were like, bro, like if I was completely healthy, we could have walked in there with no money, 500 racks on the line, and we were gonna be in debt for the rest of our lives. We would have walked out with 500 grand against Quavo and Jack Harlow. Yes.
Boy.
That's
It
great.
was ugly. I never
That was
want to watch anything like that again.
Oh, I want to watch it all the time.
I think it was kind of
I-
entertaining, man. I think it was kind of entertaining.
Because it wasn't supposed to be good basketball.
And that's fair.
It wasn't marketed as if they could hoop.
I don't want to watch it. I'm sorry.
You
If I want to watch it, I'll just go down to the local YMCA.
Man, nah. It was entertaining watching
nah.
Baby
Do they have
walking in with his
bars?
duffel.
Huh?
Do the boys at the local YMCA
I
have
don't really
bars?
care. I'm just basketball with me.
Nah.
Like it's
I
basketball
need
with
you
me.
to have
Nah,
bars.
man.
Show
It
me
ain't
decent
the same,
basketball
man.
now, bro.
Bars.
These guys be making James Harden step back like 1-3 references all the time.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
seen Drake's
yeah.
jump shot?
Yeah.
Fair. You talk, like I said, they want rap, sure, do it. Like I said, I don't want to watch it on my All-Star weekend.
I feel you, Greg.
But that's
I just,
whatever. If it's entertaining for other
nah,
people, cool.
bars
whatever.
got to be validated.
Exactly.
That's what I
Bars
want.
gotta-
Bars
Exactly.
gotta
You
be
can't be
validated.
out here talking about some James Harden,
Long as you
KD,
ain't saying
Steph
you
Curry
can
with
do
the
James
pot.
Harden.
You can't be doing
Like,
all
it's
that.
a metaphor. It's supposed like you're making a metaphor.
If I say,
As long
I
as
hear
you're not
you.
saying I could James Harden step like no.
if
that's
I
not what
say
you're saying.
I'm Chef Curry with the pot,
360 with the wrist.
if I say that, I better be able to shoot from at least
I
27.
hear what
not
you're,
talking
I
about
hear what
shooting
you're
the
saying,
basketball,
Brian.
though,
Like,
Greg.
it's metaphorical. I get it. It's music. It's a part of this. I don't care. If you want to make a
get it. It's
basketball
part of the
reference, I
culture. I get it.
gotta at least see you being.
You got to be able to knock down the midi.
You don't have to be able to do anything. I just want to see it.
It's a few-
You can be as bad as
Nah,
you want to
bro,
still
you
make the
can't be
reference.
talking
It's
like
a few
that, man.
rappers who actually rap about hooping though. Like 2 Chainz actually
But
raps
2 Chainz
about
can hoop.
because he
A little
can
bit.
hoop. Exactly.
Cole can hoop.
It
Exactly.
validates.
It
Thank you.
validates.
It's valid. It's
It's I
better.
could get on the court and do that. I'm like, okay, you could a little bit.
But
like,
it makes the line better. So
Right.
like, if I heard
If 2 Chainz would've
Baby,
went out there
I'm
and
all in
stunk it
Houston
up-
with the mix, James Harden, all of
fair.
this, like, yeah, like I just want a left hand layup challenge, bro.
that's fair.
Yeah, like I don't want to hear no more rappers have any more hoop bars if you can't make a left hand layup. I need 3 in a row. Starting from the top of the key. Yeah.
You got to get there.
Yup. Yup.
Can't just
Yup.
get in the basket.
Yup.
You gotta
And-
get there.
And you gotta jump off your right foot. Yup.
They can't do
Yeah.
that.
All right, so in our quest to fix NBA All-Star Weekend,
Yeah.
In our quest to all right.
so I'm just throwing out another idea. NBA, you can steal my ideas. I don't really care.
I do.
I need a bag.
And you don't care. What are
Just
you
fly
doing?
me out.
Minor
Just
hoops
fly
need
me
a
out.
bag.
I'm good. Just fly me
He
out.
said it on air, so minor hoops need the bag.
Yeah, I was about to
if
say.
you don't want the bag,
right
minor
now,
hoops
his
want the
words
bag.
are property of a minor in hoops. He may
Exactly.
not care.
Exactly.
I think the
You can
majority
just
of the
just
cast.
fly me out. That's all I want. Just fly
Look
me.
how he trying to
fly
distance
me-
himself
fly
from
me
the
out.
pod
love how
on the
it's flying.
pod.
I'm not trying to
Me out.
distance myself. That's all I want. I just want.
Why
I
not
don't care
fly
about.
us
I
out?
don't care about bread. You act like we all not gonna go. It's gonna be a minor in hoops.
I don't know. It said me and not fly us.
Yeah.
We're all going.
Give me my money.
We will see. We will see.
Anyway, 3-point contest needs to have the gun.
Yes.
They need to get the All-Star game, or not the All-Star game. The dunk contest only needs to happen once every 2-3 years.
Interesting.
That's how you bring excitement back. It's repetitive now. You bring it back.
It's only but so many dunks you can physically do with the human body. I can see what you mean like that. I just thought about raising the stakes bigger.
I don't think that does anything. Because I mean, what are the stakes to these? What are the stakes to these guys? What we putting 5-0 on it? Like
Loser dies.
loser got to jump off the roof.
Dunk or die.
Dunk or die.
Like
Nobody's gonna compete.
but I think that's
They
how
have-
you.
they have
could,
no choice.
I think that's how you could raise the stakes on it. Of like, oh no, we're only doing this once
Yeah,
every
3 years.
2-3 years.
So it's like guys, like if you don't do it now, by the time it comes around again, you're gonna
You may
be out of
never
your
get another
prime.
chance. You may never get another chance at it.
Because I can say this, by your method in that, I think Braun would have did it.
Exactly. And like I said, I think it puts more importance on it. When it's every year, it's like, what's that? I'll get another shot.
Should be like the Olympics.
Exactly.
I get it.
I think that's a fair take.
So
I get it.
Now the question is, what do you replace it with? You could replace it with y'all 2-on-2.
Not the celebrity
No.
2-on-2.
No.
And I don't want to. I don't
so
want
the-
to see
so the
actual
idea-
NBA players.
So
do
this is my
2-on-2
idea.
either.
So this is just my idea. You make the 2-on-2 tournament over the course of the weekend. So Saturday night is first round, or Friday night is the first round. Saturday night semifinals. Sunday you play the finals. So like I said,
I don't.
Down
I think if
You
you're
don't
talking about
wanna-
people loafing on like the
don't-
All-Star game or like the slam dunk contest, that 2-on-2, you're
Are you
not
talking
gonna
about
see
2-on-2
effort.
for NBA?
Like
players?
league
no,
guys?
not NBA players. I'm talking about
celebrities?
for celebrity. For
Oh.
what y'all said.
I don't want to see that much 2-on-2. I just want to see one game.
You just want to see one game.
To 21, just how
I'm
they did it.
I'm just throwing out ideas. I'm
You
just
still
throwing out
have the-
ideas.
You still have the celebrity game.
Yeah.
So you still have that. Now, granted,
I don't want to watch that no more, to be honest.
they be throwing in old heads, old hoopers in there every now and then. I think they got to go about the selection different. Like, you want it to be a tad competitive.
Well, the
But
issue
you don't
is
want
a
it
lot
to
of people
be-
turn it down.
Exactly.
Like people, like it's not like the celebrities that are selected. I'm sorry, a lot
Like,
of you guys
Ronnie
weren't
2K
first
shouldn't
choice.
be hooping, bro.
Ronnie 2K can't hoop.
Like,
and you know
don't
what?
put
We
him
talk
on
about
that court.
rappers and making bars about hooping. How we got somebody who's constructing a video game about hoops? Who's looking shaky on
All
that
right,
left
can we
hand
please
layup?
stop giving Ronnie 2K this like he constructs a video game? He is literally just the mouthpiece. He does nothing to create that game.
He creates buzz.
He
For
says a
some-
lot.
yeah.
He says a lot.
That's all he does. He says a lot.
What's the name of the guy who created 2K?
You said what?
Do you know the name of the guy who created 2K?
Mike Wayne, development team.
Development team.
I know the CEO. I think his name's like Zelnick. He owns 2K.
I think I know
Interactive.
Mike Wayne. We know Ronnie 2K, so he's the face, and he's gonna get this slandered. Cause your game sucks
It does.
on and off the court. That's what I mean. Like that 2K, boo boo.
Wow, that took a turn.
Yeah, but shout out NBA Live.
I think honestly, I think
Shout out NBA Live.
Shout out
NBA
NBA
Live had a
Live.
great history. But we're not gonna get into that. But and one day we will. Like we'll just have a video game
Oh, yeah, we're
moment
definitely
and we'll
gonna
talk
do
about it. But I think they gotta go about the selection process better because just make it a tad more competitive where it's like it's watchable.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can live with it. Common ain't playing no more because Common always doing the intros and outros.
Yeah,
Like,
the intros and
but
outros.
Get guys who actually know how to dribble a basketball. Get females who know how to dribble a basketball a little bit better.
Take too much work.
You know, and
that takes some research.
Yeah, we got to do a whole.
Like, what you
vetting
gonna ask each
process.
celebrity to send you a clip? Like,
Yeah, and then
Bro,
it's gonna end up being
left
the same
hand
celebrities.
layups. All you gotta do is see somebody like lay the ball up, and you could tell
so you
how
gonna
much.
ask them to send you a video of their left hand layups?
No,
To
for
get-
sure,
to
like-
get selected.
no,
They do
honestly,
videos for everything else
yeah.
nowadays.
Like no, their fans
I
up.
need
Their
20
fans be like,
jumpers. I need 5 left hand
It's gonna be the
layups.
same celebrities though.
Over
Okay.
and
On
over.
the teams over and over.
I don't think it is. You're gonna switch up some now and then. It's gonna be new celebrities every year.
So
It's
I
not.
guess the question really
You have
becomes like,
Griselda on it now.
how many
They
celebrities?
popped.
And then it's gonna be
So
Griselda
the question
next
then
year.
becomes, how many celebrities are actually good at hoops?
Right. I don't think it's enough for it to be like a new group.
But we're not saying
I think
all.
there's
I don't
more
think
than
all
what
of
we
them
know.
are
or even a
Oh,
new ish
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like, I think there's a amount, but then it becomes, okay, who's actually coming to All-Star Weekend? Who's old enough? Who wants to? Like, you're dwindling your numbers
Eventually,
down
you just
slowly
have
by
to hope the
slowly.
celebrities have to say yes.
Right.
Like you're dwindling your numbers slowly
I get that.
but surely.
I was talking about the 2-on-2.
I feel you.
It goes back to like if you make it like a whole process where you'd be like, hey y'all, I want to play in the celebrity game, #celebrity all-star game with my name, Then they show themselves hooping a little bit down there. Then you be like, oh, okay, yeah, Dirk, we want you to play, Dirk.
Is the hashtag like who gets more hits? Like who fans can vote them into?
That's unfair.
No, of course not. No,
But popular celebrity
Yeah.
just
but
wins.
it just kind of builds the buzz for the people that we like. Oh no, we actually do want to see them play.
I think
not necessarily that being the selection process.
the issue is they don't care.
Yeah.
Like, this is assuming that multiple celebrities will hope to be picked and then they lose
Right.
out on getting picked.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's like, hey, you want to be nope, I'm busy. Hey, you want to, nah, I'm good off basketball. Hey, you want to, nope. Like, that's the issue. And then you get whittled down to these 20 celebrities and you're just like, thank
Whoever.
God y'all said yes.
Yeah.
And like for a lot of guys, even the ones that hoop, like J. Cole and them, like they only do it once or twice because after you do it, the novelty's over.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, I did it. I don't care enough to do this again.
And I think guys like Quavo saying what he said after the win, saying, you know, we'll take on and we won't smoke with whoever, that in the third.
And that's why I said the
That
2-on-2
adds
is the
a
new
little
celebrity
more
for me.
allure to it. So I guess maybe 2-on-2 is the way to go.
Because I said I can't see Cole linking up with somebody like, yo, let's just go get this 2-on-2 title this year.
Facts.
To
Like,
see
I think that would be like way more entertaining than like a full blown celebrity.
Celebrity
game.
All-Star.
If you gave me, especially like I said, going with y'all said, like I said, you really started marketing like the 2-on-2 teams before the weekend, like J. Cole and blah blah blah,
Yeah.
Quavo and da 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 da. All will be an all-star weekend, Friday night, duke it out. Like
That's why it was pretty fun when Kevin was doing it.
Exactly.
Because he was like, hey, whoever wants to challenge me, I am the MVP of the celebrity game.
he
Right.
was, he was
You
talking
go-
that cash.
You gonna get
4
this
points.
work.
He's talking that. I think he gave that one to Duncan though. Yeah, I think he gave that.
Like, you
MVP.
gonna get this work.
But it was entertaining
was
because it was a bravado about it. So I think you got to bring that back, that competitive spirit. That's why I like the 2-on-2.
Yeah.
Like after they
Real
won, they just
personal.
opened the duffel with 500 racks. I know 2 Chainz gotta be sick. He
is
just
hot.
has to be.
He's hot.
Like he just looked at little baby like, bro.
Hot. Heat.
Yeah. Apparently James Harden got a studio in his crib, but he don't got no basketball court because I don't know what baby we were working out at. But it wasn't in Houston.
so 2-on-2. Anything else we can replace the dunk contest with?
Nah, man. I don't know.
Oh, man, that's too tough, man. And the dunk contest.
I ain't gonna lie. I would watch a game of horse between Dame and Steph.
Here's the issue with leaving out the dunk contest for 2 to 3 years. They come back and it still lays an egg. You got to wait another 2 to 3 years for that to come back and try again.
I don't think it would.
I don't think
after
it
2-3
would
years.
because I think the league will force it not to be like whatever incentives is going to be surrounding this,
You
the
can't-
hype around it. Somebody's going to be like, you know what, I give. Like Zion will be like, you know what, I give. Like
And
if this is only happening every 3-4 years,
It don't
like,
make
I'ma
the
give
dunks
one.
better.
But
It makes the
honestly, I
hype
think
around
it
it better.
would. Like it's just like anything. When it's taken away from you, you crave it just a little bit more.
Nah, I'll have this conversation all the time. Like some of the dunks that we've seen over the last couple of years, they're not actually bad dunks. Like in the
just
90s,
seen it.
they would have hands down won it. We just almost feel like we've seen everything, especially when you're scrolling through social media and I see people doing the most absurd, physically impossible dunks.
You see that dude Jordan
First trade
Kildon?
just went through.
Which one?
OKC, it won a big one, but OKC sent Diallo to Detroit for Svi. Won a big one, but
okay.
it was a trade.
But dunk contest, I
see.
think I like that idea.
So
We'll see, man.
I
We'll
mean,
see. It's not.
theoretically, we'll know this will never happen. Who would you want to see in the one-on-one game?
Ones?
1-on-1, 8 guys. Who would you want to see duke it out?
8 guys, 1-on-1, Kyrie, KD, James Harden are all in that. I would want to see Braun put in that 1-on-1 situation personally. D-Book.
I was gonna say something so mean. I'm glad I kept that to myself.
Say it.
I like that.
Say it.
I'm cool on that. I've done good today.
Man, I'm scared because now I only got 3 people left. And it's ones. And I'm trying to think of like ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Maybe Jason Tatum.
I was about to say that.
Jason. Yeah.
Brad Bill. He's up there.
7.
One more
I'm gonna
time.
have to leave so many people out if I complete this list.
Just say Kawhi.
Nah, I don't want to see Kawhi. I'd rather see PG than Kawhi, but I don't want to. I think there might be somebody more than PG that I
Go
want to
Buck,
see.
man.
You said what?
He already said book.
Oh, you said
Yeah, I
Book
said
already?
Book.
You
Yeah.
said Book.
You said
Man, that's
Levine?
tough. I don't think you said who.
Levine?
I didn't say Zach Levine.
That's
I
a
didn't.
He's-
I didn't say Zach.
He might be
Levine.
my playing game, my 9-10 playing game.
Yeah, like it's
Okay.
it's hard to close that list. The 7 that I named before that were definitely like, all right, like yeah, but
Okay, fair.
I just don't know how the matchups would be either because like if you just draw
Random
straws,
names.
like
Random names.
yeah,
Ping pongs.
that would be hilarious though. Seeing like Kyrie matched up
3
against
dribbles?
KD in
4
ones.
dribbles?
I would say. Man, these league. You got 2.
2?
2? Nah.
That's what they
no
play.
fun.
That's what league play with 2. You better get to your spot.
That's no fun,
We
though.
ain't got time to sit around here.
Can't see the shake
I
and bake,
respect
though.
that, but it's not as fun.
Shaking baby.
I at least got to get 4 of them things.
Yeah, I was about to say 3 to 5.
Ain't nobody got time for this, man. Get to your spot. This is the league, right?
I'll
Get
give
to your
4
spot.
dribbles,
not
10
things.
seconds.
I
4
need
dribbles, 10
another
seconds.
dribble for the counter. What if the counter comes off the
Yeah,
dribble?
4 dribbles, 10 seconds.
I ain't
This
giving
the
you
league,
10.
right?
I'm not giving you 10
Is this
seconds.
the league or is it not?
You said what?
Is this the league or is it not?
It's the league.
Get to your spot. Not
You know
get
what?
a shot.
Forget a dribble count. Y'all got 6 seconds.
I can go with that. I'll
Yeah.
rock with that too.
You can dribble as much as you want in that 6 seconds.
Yeah, 6
As soon as check happens,
Clock starts.
1 Mississippi. 2.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Clearly
I'm
going to be a
with
shot
it.
clock, but whatever.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair. I want to see Jimmy Butler in there. Just gotta know he's just gonna be a dog.
Yes.
He ain't got the 1-on-1 game. But I just love to see it.
Fair.
Jimmy Butler.
Oh my God. I got to tell y'all about the next line
Wow.
after this pie goes off.
All right, man. Let's get out of here. We've been here for a good minute, right, Keith?
This has been a fun pod.
I'm
though.
a sick guy, yo.
We definitely hit over 2.
I don't think so.
After edit, nah.
After edit, no?
think
Okay,
so.
okay. Cool. Man, we appreciate y'all. Y'all know we do, man. I didn't say it before, but please show love to the podcast. And we thank you for everyone who watches the podcast and shows love. To be a part of this family is real easy. All you got to do is hit that sub button, hit that like button, comment below to join the conversation because we love the conversation. We love talking hoops with all of y'all. And that helps us get pushed out to more people so we can make this family bigger. And the bigger the family, the better the family. So we appreciate y'all, man. Shout outs.
Valanciunas, Ja Morant. It's not been a lot of basketball played.
I understand.
I
Shout out
think
to the-
UVA had a buzzer beater game winner.
Yeah.
We did not talk about Duke, Kentucky.
Dude doesn't get a
Carolina's
shout
doing
out.
well, kind of.
They right there. They
Kansas
gotta,
just got put out because of COVID.
exactly. All the blue bloods. But we'll I think we'll do that in the all season.
I mean, we can do it next week when the field's actually selected.
Yeah, because I think it's this Sunday. It's coming Sunday, so
Selection.
Find out next time on.
right.
Ball.
So
Shout out to the Philadelphia 76ers bench winning the game without Ben and Embiid. Cool. Everybody went off of them. Tony Bradley went 7 for 7.
shout out to
Never thought I'd say
the
that.
shout out to the hometown hero here in Richmond, Taya Robinson, first team all defense, first team all A10 for VCU. Having a great season. I was watching their game versus Rhode Island before I left the crib. She had 19 going into the 4th.
Hooper.
So she's been an issue all season long. So shout out to her. Anybody else?
Probably, but I can't remember.
That's fine. We can leave it out on Tay because Tay's a dog.
Facts.
As always, y'all know what it is. Eat, sleep, breathe the game. We love you. Be safe. We out.